Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, April 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 84. Coming up on OTB, Jacob Hester joins us live from the NFL Draft. We talk to LSU softball coach Beth Torina at 8 a.m., and LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson joins the show at 8:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome in to another day OTB, brand new edition here. I am T-Bob Hebert, joined by Mario Jerez, my guy Taylor Sharp. We are here in the Baton Rouge 104.5 ESPN studios. Kind of a crazy morning. You came in today and like all of Government Street's power was off. It looks like it came back here sometime recently. A bit of a post-apocalyptic feeling. A rainy morning. So, look, if you're out on the road, stay safe. Let's have ourselves a hell of a day here. And it's going to be a hell of a day today, as it is Don Juan Draft Party Day. That's right. The NFL Draft starting tonight. The first round going to be tonight. And, well, as I just alluded to, we'll be out at Don Juan having a good time, smoking cigars, drinking whatever vittles you want to drink, and partying through the entirety of this broadcast. So you want a little off-season whiskey and wine type vibe, maybe even Island Hanny showing up at some point? You want to come out to Don Juan over there in Town Center night, presented by Rouse's. So shout out to my favorite groups of people there. For the show today, Mario laid out some of the guests there. We're doing our Munchies, and we got our check-ins with Coach Torina, Coach Johnson. Looking forward to that. We'll talk a little Alabama baseball. I want to talk Saints draft. We can expect them to do. Maybe a little Kayshon Boutte. LSU football gets a big-time recruit yesterday. And, some other fun stuff for hour number 3 as well. So, lock in. I hope you're having a great morning. If you're hanging out with us at youtube.com/1045 ESPN, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's start with the New Orleans Saints. And sorry, my voice is a little shot today. I did like 17 shows yesterday, so I think I just talked entirely too much yesterday, and my muscles are a little tired. So bear with me here. Look, and you know me, I am not an NFL draft guy by any means. It doesn't really excite me too much. I'm a bit cynical when it comes to draft picks, right? Like a lot of people tell me, oh, well, this is why it's so exciting, because it gives everybody a chance to feel like they're going to be good in terms of the NFL, and everybody's future is laid out in front of them. And that's all well and good. And I see where you're coming from. My problem is that I'm just always like, well, draft picks fail as often as they work out. So I find it hard to get preemptively excited about it. And I'm not trying to poo-poo anybody's parade, so that's all I'll say today. I'm just saying this and that. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of personal scouting on the guys on the Saints radar, right? I'm not watching too much Bryce film beyond like highlight tapes or Clancy or whatever. But one thing I do know about tonight's NFL draft, and we'll get to maybe some more scouting stuff with Jake, I do know that the Saints will trade up. And there's a very good chance that it could be in this first round. But sometime in the 7, the Saints will trade up. And it's kind of shocking, man. If you look, since 2008, the New Orleans Saints have made 20 draft day trades. Not a single one of them was in order to trade back. Really think about that. 20 trades since 2008 is quite a bit, and not a single one was to trade back. And this comes in a day and age when a lot of people operate under the kind of diversification philosophy, right? Where trade back, amass picks, throw a bunch of stuff against the wall, see what sticks, and that's your best way to ensure success. There's a couple really funny quotes from Mickey Loomis's pre-draft press conference. Probably my favorite one. One of the reporters prefaced a question, and this comes from Luke Johnson's piece in The Advocate today. But a reporter prefaced the question by telling, by mentioning the fact that the Saints had 8 picks. Before he could finish the question, Loomis cut it off and said, right now we have 8 picks. Okay, so Mickey basically telling you there is no way they're going to use all 8 of those picks. And if you're wondering, well, why, man? Why do you trade up in a day and age so often where many people kind of look down? And look, there's a few things about trading up why I understand why people aren't into it. Oh man. I got to get rid of these headphones. They're like going in and out. The problem, one of the problems with trading up is it seemingly gives you no margin for error, right? Like, yeah, maybe you're getting a guy that is better than what you would have gotten in your slot, or at least in your view, it's better than what you would have gotten in your slot, but you better be right. Because when you're not, then you've just doubled down on all the wasted resources. It's almost a little narcissistic in a way. I mean, here's what Loomis had to say, quote, when you have conviction, if you love somebody, you go get him. That's my preferred policy. If you think you can get him where you're at, stay where you're at. I just feel like the philosophy of trading back means that if you really believe in your board and you believe in how it's going to fall, you're moving back to get a lesser player. Now, I don't agree with that. I think that people move back more because it's about risk management, right? And diversification. Like Mickey Loomis has that feeling of that finance guy who knows his investment is going to hit. So instead of spreading out of multiple different companies, so if one company tanks, you still have good investment. He says, no, I know this company is going to be a huge success, and sometimes it is. You look at guys like Alvin Kamara trading up a move that was clowned, really, when it happened. And then Alvin Kamara, even with this most recent stuff notwithstanding, has been an incredible home run pick. Trading up for Chris Olave feels very worth it last year. But then you also have your misses, and the biggest one recently trading up for Marcus Davenport. And so I'm a sucker, right? I can fall for the single investment guy firsthand, but I've also seen them get burned firsthand. So one of the reasons why trading up, it gives you no margin for error. You have to make sure that you're right. And the other part that I don't like about trading up necessarily is that you're not in any sort of position of leverage, right? Like the other team knows you want something you don't have, and all you have to give them are your other assets. Like it's not really too much of a two-way street. You're at an inherently disadvantaged position when you enter the negotiating table. So it's interesting to me then that these schools of thought are out there. And again, since 2008, the Saints have traded up 20 times, never traded down once. I really like this piece from John Sigler of Saints Wire, as he points out he has a chart that can we get this chart together the document? I know y'all are working on getting Jake on here, but this is well worth it. Nobody has lost more in net trade value from draft day trades since 2011 than have the New Orleans Saints. In fact, if you look, the Saints trade up in 2011, they trade up in 15, they trade up in 16, 17, 18, 19, 2020, they trade up twice and traded up in 2022. Within that time, they have spent 6 top 3 round picks, right? So 6 of the picks that you have lost in order to affect these trades have been either 1s, 2s, or 3s. It's kind of insane. And when you look at this chart about draft day value, look, there's like, if you look at the bottom 5, right, there's a number attached to this. You don't really have to understand how the numbers arrived at, just know there's a number attached. The 5th most lost value in the NFL in this span, the Green Bay Packers, they're at about minus 1,800. Next, the 4th most, you got the Chargers. They're about minus 2,100. Then you got the Bills, who are probably checking in about minus 2,400. You got the Philadelphia Eagles at minus 3,000. And then you get to the New Orleans Saints at minus 7,000. I mean, it is a complete outlier how Mickey Loomis tends to approach the draft. So, I mean, I don't want to offer a value judgment of good or bad because it's worked sometimes and it hasn't worked other times. And the Saints have been pretty good in that span. Now, I do think what's interesting is for the majority of that span, they had a Hall of Fame quarterback, which really kind of, eases, soothes all wounds, makes everything just flow better. And they had a great coach in Sean Payton. As they tried to move out of that and prove that they can still be winners, still be relevant, still consistently make the playoffs. I wonder if such an all-in, risky strategy, if they can continue to swallow the misses in the same way that they have in the past, or if they'll eventually be made to change. We'll see. Again, I don't know who the Saints will select, but I do know that they will be trading up. Maybe tonight, certainly there seems like there's a lot of smoke in the trade up into those early 20s, but certainly somewhere along the way, you will see the New Orleans Saints move up on the draft board. All right, when we get back, we got Jacob Hester checking in live from Kansas City. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Donaldson Glass and Body. DGBauto.com is the site. DGBauto.com, your one-stop car shop. You go on the website, you can actually speak with Kenny Frederick right there. Line up your vehicle. What you got going on? Look, you need tires, glass, wheels, brakes, collision repair. They do that free pick-up and drop-off delivery on the collision repair. It's all there for you at Donaldson Glass and Body. You talk about OTB supporters. They've been with the show for a very long time, and so support those who support us. 24/7 emergency towing available as well from DGB. And look, the best part, I always talk about it, man, but you can trust them. Okay, they're not going to tell you that your flux capacitor doesn't work and try to get one over on you because you're like me and you don't know anything about cars. They're going to make sure that you get just what you need to get on the road safely, quickly, efficiently, at a great price. Donaldson Glass and Body, DGBauto.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Water.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further...
Hanigoff, join us for the Thursday edition of Handy Time. It's NFL Draft Day. We talk with Ken Trahan from Crescent City Sports, and Jacob Hester is in Kansas City at the draft. Handy Time, noon weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Draft Day here in OTB. Coming out Don Juan tonight, 7 p.m. Presume my round's going to be a ton of fun. Let's go to our anonymous hotline, our first 48 special Zoom call, as we have our guy Jake Hester there in Kansas City. Now, of course, Jake is a false name, as we want to keep his identity secret. I'm hoping that he's remembering to use his voice changes. So all makes sense visually when you see him in a second. Jake, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, T-Bob. I've tried everything. I even took off
that looks better,
whatever
actually.
this light fixture, whatever that is. Like, I took it off thinking if I exposed the light bulbs, it was going to be a little bit better. I tried to open the window. It was too glary. So we're trying. There's not a lot of lights in the hotel. Like, it actually
doesn't look that bad. It looked worse on the laptop. Maybe like because the brightness turned out. You look fine. You look fine. Like, in fact, my entire joke train may be a bit off here. Jake, what's up, man?
I can back you up.
How's Kansas City?
Good so far. As I told you, as always, had some travel delays yesterday, but we did get here around 9:30 last night, and the city's buzzing. It's always good. Like these, I say smaller towns. Obviously, Kansas City's not a small town, but for NFL, when it's been in Vegas, it's been in Miami, it's been on these other places, you can tell somewhere like Kansas City appreciates the fact that they've got the draft. And the first person I saw when I walked in to the hotel last night was Anthony Richardson. And my gosh.
Oh, wow.
He is, like you've seen him on the field and covered a game where he's playing. And I don't know why. Usually guys look bigger in pads, but he's a giant. Like, he's a literal giant. So I was like, T-Bob would be so happy that that's the first person I saw.
Well, how about this then? Because I was thinking about Anthony Richardson yesterday. Why would you not draft Anthony Richardson over Will Levis, right? Like, if you're going to go with guys who both have bad film and don't have a ton of stats to write home about, and even in that S2 cognitive testing, granted, Levis may be a little bit better, like 93 versus 79 or whatever, but both, hitting the 80% benchmark that you want to hit. Why would you go with Levis over Richardson when Levis is such a physical freak? Or excuse me, when Richardson is such a physical freak?
I've still seen Levis make better throws on tape, but I understand what you're saying. It hasn't been, the throws haven't been good enough maybe to say, okay, well, he does this that much better than Richardson, but he certainly has better throws on tape. And it just depends on what you're looking for. When you look at the Colts and Shane Steichen having that history with Jalen Hurts and really a number of different quarterbacks with different skill sets, but what they just did, that's kind of been a little bit of a buzz around here just in the early morning. You're going down there, you're getting breakfast, and you kind of hear some of the same things like, hey, the guy did it with Jalen Hurts. Now, why can't he do it with Anthony Richardson, right? You've got a couple of really nice weapons on the outside for Indy. You've got a 1,000-yard back in Indy. Like, you have the pieces, a lot of the same pieces. You have a really good offensive line, just like the Eagles do, right? So you have the same pieces. Yeah. Go get you a quarterback that can do similar things. And that's kind of what you're hearing here. So if, like, Anthony Richardson goes to Indy at 4, I think a lot of people think it makes a lot of sense for both parties.
What is kind of interesting about that, Jake, though, with Steichen specifically, absolutely. I mean, I would, like I said, I would take Richardson. I mean, you even look at Justin Fields last year. Granted, he didn't throw the ball well, but how did he manage to have success? Because he can run. Nobody can run like Richardson. But Steichen did also do it with Hebert, right? So I guess there is the idea out there that, you know, he could also bring Levis along. It's one of the reasons why Shane Steichen is so exciting if you're a Colts fan entering a draft in which you are getting a brand new young quarterback. He's done it not once, but twice here recently with those guys. Jake, anything on, we kind of talked about the Saints first round, probably moving up somewhere in this draft. Do we have the draft day chart ready? Taylor, check this out. I don't know if you can see it, Jake, but this is for the viewers back home. It's a chart that shows draft day trade value, right? So trade value lost and or gained in draft day trades. And as you can see, these Saints are a massive outlier in terms of what they are willing to give up. So maybe they trade up again today. I'm not entirely sure. Get your final Saints predictions in before I start asking you about Kayshon Boutte.
So for me, and I've listened over the last couple of days to a lot of people that cover the Saints and know the Saints extremely well, but they're like, it's just what they do. Let them do it. I'm like, but they've done it bad. Like, what do you mean? No, like the last couple of trade ups, it's been more misses than hits. Now, last year's was a hit, but like you can't deny that it hasn't been. And we're not just talking about first round. We're talking about a couple of places in the draft. So for me, I'm not going to just let them do what they've always done. Like, sit back and realize that you don't have a lot of draft capital, but you got a really nice piece at 29. You got a nice piece at 40. You can get 2 starters, in my opinion, with the positions that you're looking at. You know, if you were trying to get a quarterback, no, we're having a different conversation. If you were trying to get the number 1 receiver in this class, we're having a different conversation. But you're trying to get a defensive tackle and what looks like probably a tight end and at some point a running back. There's value in every one of those positions. I mean, when you sit there and you start to chart those positions, like, you can get really good value, in my opinion, at 40 for a tight end. We talked about Brazil the other day, sitting there at 29 from Clemson at defensive tackle. Like, you have defensive tackles. You've got 3 in this draft that, in my opinion, are starters, and you're going to have one with the opportunity to select one at 29. Go tight end at 40. If you want to wait till the 4th round to go running back, you can. I mean, I'm sitting here, T-Bob, and I've listed, you know, all my top running backs, and man, there's some real value. Even at tight end, though, like Luke Musgrave from Oregon State and Sam Laporta and Darnell Washington and Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State, there's value there. Even if you want to go farther down the line, like Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan, Brenton Strange from Penn State, guys that played really well in the Big Ten. So I think the tight end value is there. I think the running back value is certainly there. I mean, we're talking about guys like Chase Brown from Illinois, who might be the 9th, 10th, 11th best back in this draft, and that's somebody that's an All-American. I mean, there's some real value in both of those positions, even some at defensive tackle as well, like I said. So the places that you need bodies, there's value. Unless you just fall in love with a guy, which everybody says, but I still don't agree with it. Okay, maybe you want to move up, but sit there at 29, sit there at 40, sit with your 3rd-round pick, and I truly think you can get 3 guys, 2 starters and 1 that's a key rotational piece.
All right, Jake, let's move on from the New Orleans Saints. It's something that I'm sure we're going to revisit throughout the entirety of today's show. I want to talk about Kayshon Boutte, man. It's pretty interesting to think about, right? The old curious case of Kayshon, a guy who a couple of years ago was viewed to be a surefire first-round pick in the NFL. And look, man, it's crazy. You actually like sit there and you look back and you go look at Kayshon game logs and what he did in those last 3 games of the pandemic. Now, granted, you got smoked by Alabama 55-17, but kind of quietly within that, you saw the emergence. Remember, this is after Terrace Marshall leaves, but you saw the emergence of Kayshon. He goes for 8 catches for 111 yards. Then he comes back next week against Florida, 5 catches, 108 and a tud. And then the just unforgettable performance in Death Valley, in which he sets the SEC record for most receiving yards a game, 14 catches, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, and you beat the Ole Miss Rebels 53-48. And what's wild is I kind of forgot how good he had stayed through the beginning of 2021, right? He opens that UCLA game, 9 catches, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 more touchdowns the next week, then 1 touchdown, then 2. So Kayshon had a 9-game stretch there. End of 2020, pre-injury of 21. And in 9 games, he had 65 catches for over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. Then he gets hurt, and it just never came back together. And it's weird because you have a guy who goes from a first rounder to now he's viewed as kind of somewhere in the rounds 3 through 5, but it's not like anything scandalous happened. There's no exact thing that you can point at. He just kind of stopped getting better. I mean, where do you think Kayshon's potential kind of lies? Can he retain or can he regain that form that he had in the end of 2020, beginning of 2021?
It's a fair question, and I don't know because of everything that's happened since he's been injured, like physically, is it mentally? And you look at this year, and you felt like they were trying to force the issue to get him going, and he never really got going, and then he kind of got passed up by other receivers. And then you have, he's coming back, he's not coming back, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and it was just kind of flip-flopping back and forth. And then he decides to come out, and after that, it's been disastrous. I mean, obviously the 40 and what he did as far as the physical traits that you're looking for from a receiver, I should say what he didn't do, like the combine numbers are just bad. And so it's not been a good, 12 months for Kayshon, even maybe going back farther than that. And so I don't know what he can do to regain it. Like everything you said, I think a lot of people would be surprised by some of the numbers you threw out there, because even, LSU fans, like, you forget kind of because you remember what happened or didn't happen a year ago. Like there's a real skill set there, but is it a skill set that's going to translate to the NFL? That's going to be the question. I mean, when you look at those combine numbers and those times, they're just not great. And then you decide not to try to improve on them at pro day. That was a very odd decision.
Yeah.
So people are going to have questions like, wait a minute, you didn't do what you wanted to do. You had a couple of weeks to get ready for this pro day. Pro day is always more friendly than the combine is. And you decide not to go out there and do anything. Like, you've got to explain that to us. And so they're going to, question him as a competitor. All those things are going to just to start to hit and just knock his draft stock down. I'm sitting here and T, I'm looking at, I've got my top 11 receivers so far as I finished to get ready for the draft, and I don't have Kayshon in my top 11 receivers.
Yeah.
It's because you go back and you kind of study what you've seen recently, and there's guys like, I'll give you an example. Like there's a Michael Wilson from Stanford. Well, he was injured and kind of in and out of the lineup, but during this draft process, he went out and went to Mobile at the Senior Bowl and dominated 101s and dominated practice. And now he looks healthy and he put up some good numbers at the combine. And so like a guy like that didn't have the career that Kayshon had is trending in a better position than him because of things that he's done in recent memory. So I don't know where Kayshon lands. I am not going to say that he can't be a pro because we have seen flashes before, but it is going to be crucial where he lands. You want to have, a receivers coach that's going to be there with him, help him out. You want him to go into a veteran room, in my opinion, that's got an old head that can help show him the ways. And so it depends on where he goes. Again, not saying he can't be an NFL guy, but right now it looks like a long shot, which is crazy considering he was going to be the first receiver off the board at this time a year ago. Like if he was, going to be in that draft.
Yeah, I wonder too how much of this, Jake, and I don't love saying this because it's not, again, there's not anything overly drastic or offensive in any of this, but I wonder, it's kind of like you even touched on it, some of the answer there, like why not do the pro day thing? Like what's your attitude towards football? You say you're going to run a 4.3 at the combine, you run a 4.5. You say you still think you're the best receiver in the draft. You're kind of not willing to prove it. You said you were going to stay at LSU for another year. 23 days later, that changes. They were kind of the bad body language stuff from the beginning of the 22 season. Some of the news of kind of the tip with Brian Kelly. I mean, behind the scenes, kind of threatening to leave to go to Alabama, driving number. It just, it feels like a guy who, it's not been any one thing, but it's been like kind of a gumbo of things, an amalgamation of different little factors that just kind of maybe took focus away from the football field a bit. And look, and he had a child, which is like absolutely life-changing and overwhelming in a lot of ways as well. So it just feels like a guy who you've seen the flashes. You know that physical potential is in there. It's just a question of, does he have the drive, the personality traits to regain that potential that he once showed? And I don't know. I don't know that you can feel good about that where you sit right now. I mean, this is a quote from an NFC scout who was granted anonymity. I say, quote, I think the problem with this kid is people were always trying to find the guy who was a freshman. And quite frankly, you just never found that guy. Who knows? Maybe like we talked about the other day, nature versus nurture, the environment can really determine how a player ends up doing once they get to the NFL, probably more than we give it credit for. Like you said, he lands the right environment. Maybe he finally unlocks who he used to be. But going to be very interested to see where he ends up getting drafted. All right, coming up next, well, we continue to give some draft takes, but I do want to talk about some big recruiting news yesterday as this LSU football team landed a big-time guy, but even better, Brian Kelly has proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one of the biggest question marks that people had for him entering his LSU tenure. So keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, I want you to go see Dr. Zhang at the Advanced Eye Center, okay? The only accredited center for vision therapy in the entire state. And it's not recent. Dr. Zhang's been practicing and doing this for 40 years, y'all. And you probably don't even realize just how much your vision and in how many different ways it affects not just like your everyday life, but athletics as well. In fact, 90% of playing sports comes down to your vision. How does your brain process depth perception, reaction time, your ability to track multiple objects? It's a lot of stuff we've actually been talking about the S2 cognitive testing. Well, over there at the Advanced Eye Center, they work on that. They understand it. They test you, and then they help you improve. So if you want to set your children up for success, okay, you want to give them their best chance to succeed, maximize their potential, go to the Advanced Eye Center Sports Vision Therapy Camps this summer. It's for grades 3 through 6, 7 through 12. Limited availability. Go to Facebook now. Sign up. Advanced Eye Center.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Get you ready for the NFL Draft. What are the Saints going to do? And Joe Healy of D1 Baseball joins us to preview the SEC weekend to come. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Mario Taylor here in studio. Jake is in Kansas City, live from the NFL Draft, boots on the ground. Did you see anybody famous at breakfast, Jake?
No, nobody famous at breakfast.
Damn,
Just Anthony Richardson last night, and I asked him how the air was up there.
Yeah. You're just, I mean, look, he's well built. Okay, that's actually a perfect transition, because you know who else is well built? Did you see how big? I mean, I don't know if you heard about this yesterday or not. So Trey'Dez Green is a big-time recruit out of Louisiana for 22. And look, we are not recruiting guys on the show. We do not pretend to be recruiting guys on the show. But every now and then there is a recruiting story that is big enough, I think, to warrant interest for a segment. And I would say that East Feliciana's Trey'Dez Green committing to LSU yesterday is one of those stories, and for multiple reasons. But I'm going to start, Jake. You know me. I'm dumb. I'm like, draft Darnell Washington. He's a giant. He just looks awesome. Trey'Dez Green, he's listed at 6'8", but he says he is 6'9". 6'9", 250, tight end. He's a 4-star, number 2 player in the state, number 3 tight end in the country. Now, the highest rated commit in the LSU 2024 class at 57 overall. Jake, 6'9", and in high school. How about that?
Yeah, and it's a position that LSU, I mean, talk about from a year ago when we went out to practice and we were like, what is going on here? I mean, the tight end room, I say room, I should have used air quotes. It has 2 guys in it, and they're over there with Mike Denbrock. And now you've got 3 coming in this class to add with Mason Taylor, who is a freshman All-American. And now you get, a top 50-like player out of high school that is a literal giant. I mean, that is a position. And we talked about it whenever, BK takes the job, and we're talking about you don't have numbers at tight end. And we went through the list of tight ends he has had in his coaching career. Like, you felt good about where he could get. It just wasn't there then. And now you see the bodies that he's bringing in to go along with the growth and development of Mason Taylor. Man, that's an exciting room.
And so, look, he's got pretty great numbers for high school as well, right? Last year at 42 catches, over 800 yards, 14 touchdowns, which I feel like managing to throw to a tight end in high school is always a challenge. Offenses and quarterbacks just generally aren't up to it. How about this, Jake? I know you played with Antonio Gates forever, It's got to make you very happy to hear that he's also an all-state basketball player that was so good that Will Wade actually offered him before Will Wade got fired at LSU. So he has all the athleticism you could possibly want. He didn't even play football his sophomore year of high school, and he's now coming, like you said, to a tight end room where, look, I feel like every coach has their positions where they're kind of their specialty in terms of recruiting, and they can say, look at what I've done in the past, and the bottom line is that all Brian Kelly and teams that Brian Kelly coaches have done is turn out NFL tight ends, right? I mean, help me go down the list here because I know you're probably better at this off the top of your head. Certainly Travis Kelce is, I think, at the top of the tight end list. Who are some of the other Brian Kelly NFL tight ends?
We're talking about the Notre Dame, like you talking about, was it Kyle
Rudolph? Terry, I just got it. Here we go. Kyle Rudolph, Tyler Eifert, Troy Nichols, Cole Kmet, Tommy Trimble, all guys who have been selected in the first 3 rounds. Like, they may not have made it in the NFL, some of those, but all guys selected in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft, okay? And then was Michael Mayer even a Brian Kelly recruit, right? I would imagine. Yeah, absolutely, right?
He was, for sure.
So he is beyond proven to be able to churn out NFL tight end talent. So it makes all the sense in the world that Trey'Dez would join. Something we talked about on Scone and T at Oliver Twist last night, I think bears mentioning here. And that is the fact that he's the number 2 player in the state. And when you look right now, on 3, he's the number 3 player, whatever, right? But remember when Brian Kelly got the job and LSU missed out on a lot of the top recruits in the state. Now, we knew that there were a lot of mitigating factors where, you were never getting Osbury, you were never getting Manning. Like, there were all these weird little things where you were never actually going to get these guys, but it still looked bad when, like, the top 4 to 5 guys are all leaving and going elsewhere. Well, if you look at the 2024 top 10 right now, number 1, Dominic McKinley, a 93% crystal ball to LSU. Number 2, Wardell Mack, a 96% crystal ball to LSU. Trey'Dez Green, committed to LSU. Joel Rogers, 78% crystal ball LSU. Deshaun McBride, LSU. Tylen Singleton, 86% crystal ball LSU. Juwan Johnson, just decommitted from Colorado. Now, 74% crystal ball LSU. Kobe Young, 99. Kalaji Cobbins, already committed to LSU. Ahmad Bro, already committed to LSU. That's the top 10 right there. So you are looking at every single member of the top 10 either already committed or being considered to be heavy LSU lean. So, like, if you were wondering, could Brian Kelly connect with the state of Louisiana? Well, the proof is right there.
It is. And when you go around the SEC and you go to other places, like, that's when you know LSU is making an impact, when they start to talk about it and they know that LSU's on the rise and they're, laying out kind of some of the guys that LSU potentially could get, the guys they already have. And that's been the buzz no matter where I go. Like, there is a real buzz about what LSU is building back to be. And so that's really good to see, because that was the question, can he recruit at this level? Is he going to be able to recruit in Louisiana because he's been a national recruiter, because he has to, because of, Indiana high school football not being the same as Louisiana, even going across like to the high school coaches. And I have 2 brothers that are in the high school coaching world in Louisiana, and they say that everyone enjoys, catching up with him, talking with him, enjoys when he stops by. And so he has done a really nice job of integrating himself into the Louisiana high school football culture, which, as you know, that's not just a given. Like, that is something that you have to work at. You have to be really good at. And I mean, it's one of the things that Coach Saban was really good at, and why he tried to continue to come back to Louisiana, even when he was at Alabama. He'll continue to do so because of those relationships that he's built throughout the years. And BK has started to build those relationships. It doesn't matter. We're talking obviously like down in New Orleans and the Baton Rouge area. But what I think BK's done a nice job of, because of course I'm the 318 guy, is going up to the 318, letting Shreveport and Monroe and Alexandria, all of those places know, hey, we're the same state, we're all together, and we want to get the guys from this part of the state to Baton Rouge because we're all one state. It's not divided into a North and South Louisiana conversation. And look, some people might not understand that, but T, you've been around me and Blackwell enough, like, you understand that. You know that is a deal that people from North Louisiana, they want to feel that from their LSU head coach, and he's done a nice job of doing that.
Yeah, I would love it if Tackett Curtis would be putting on the purple and gold right now instead of heading out west to USC. Look, I think the other part of this, Jake, that we just can't ignore is obviously winning matters, right? And everybody that wants a winner. And what you're experiencing is something that's rare, which is having a legitimate top 5 coach in all of college football. You have not had one since Nick Saban, right? And once again, what you are starting to see is when you marry a school like LSU with the geographical and innate prowess and advantages that it has to a legitimate, kind of inarguable, objectively top 5 coach in the entire country, you see the results. And the results speak for themselves. And what I love is I like the painting metaphor people have been using a lot lately. This is only the second coat of paint. You know, in theory, this only gets better and better as the color starts to build on top of itself. So really exciting stuff when you look at that 2024 class, which now is number 9 in the country, according to On3. But again, the rankings are all going to change and everything. What I love is seeing the top 10 players in the state all be considered to LSU or heavy LSU leans. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour 1. We'll do our last segment. Jake, we'll let him go. Then we got Coach Torina, Coach Johnson, Munchies, all that coming up. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, join the G team and get Gordon and get it done today. Many of your favorite athletes for the LSU Fighting Tigers are on the G team. And that's because they get it done on the courtroom. They get it done in the field. And they have created value in telling you to get it done as well. So join the Gord father of NIL and get it done for yourself in the courtroom, okay? You need help. You've been in an accident, whatever you need someone who's going to fight for you. 225-888-8888, 225-888-8888. Though, look, I know we're on throughout the state. You could be listening from anywhere on YouTube. Just put your area code in if it's here in Louisiana, and then you put the 8s, and you're going to be good to go. You can find Gordon on social media if you want to look at all the incredible deals they always got going on at Get Gordon, a lot of charitable drives as well. And check out some of the cool new videos and everything they're putting out, man. The Grubwood G series is particularly fantastic. Get Gordon, get it done.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. reliefwindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. It's draft day. Sal Palantonio of ESPN will join us. Gavin Dugas of LSU Baseball in studio. It's AFR 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB 104.5 ESPN, 100.3 over there in New Orleans, 94.7. Shout out all my Alec homies. And if you're listening in the future, 11:30 a.m. in Shreveport, what up? YouTube.com/1045 ESPN as well. Hope you're having a great day. I'll check back in on chat in a little bit. You are being kind of annoying earlier, so I bailed on y'all. Pick it up, and we can get involved with you again. Jake is in Kansas City live at the NFL Draft. Jake, Cam Newton has weighed in on who he thinks the Carolina Panthers should take 1 overall.
NFL Draft is around the corner, and everybody's been asking what's my take on who should the Carolina Panthers select. And this is how I judge quarterbacks as a whole. Everybody can throw. Everybody has talent. Everybody has upside. But the thing that everybody doesn't have, and it's simple, is leadership, and can you get a to follow you? If I'm the GM, if I'm the head coach, if I'm David Tepper, I'm selecting Bryce Young. NFL draft around
look,
the corner.
man, I feel like we somewhere along the way convinced ourselves that Cam Newton is like not a good football player or like doesn't know football, which if we just look at the facts is objectively absurd. And I don't know, to me, that is actually the most succinct, probably best breakdown of how to judge these quarterbacks that I've ever heard. Like, it really does. Everybody's got the physical tools. Now, granted, maybe with Bryce, you have a little worry about the size or whatever, but ultimately it is about leadership. Jake, do you agree? It feels like this is out there now that Bryce Young should almost guaranteed be the first pick.
So I actually could not hear the audio y'all played, but I did see.
All he said is, look, when it comes to quarterback play, everybody's got, all the physical traits. Everybody's got upside. The bottom line is, can you get an MFer to follow you, right? Leadership. Yeah. And then he said, and that's why I would select Bryce Young.
Yeah, and I think I saw the quote, actually. I didn't see the video, but I did see the quote from his statement there, and I'm with him. I mean, Bryce Young would be the top pick, and Tia, I know that kind of going back and forth with a couple of different people. Some people like C.J. Stroud, some people like Anthony Richardson, and for different reasons. I've always been Bryce Young #1 pick. I've just seen him do it too many times with great receivers, with subpar receivers. Like, it didn't matter to what you're talking about. Like, the team was always with him. He always led his team and gave them an opportunity to win every single game. Like, even the game against LSU where they lose, like, they're not even remotely in that game if Bryce doesn't do Bryce Young things there at the end of that game. I thought LSU was a much better team going back and watching that tape. But Bryce Young found a way, willed his way, broke 17 tackles, throws a touchdown pass, and that's just what he does.
Wait. He broke 17 that game? That's an actual number?
That's what I remember from that game. Like, not just that play, but for the game.
I was making sure. No, I didn't know if you were just like exaggerating and be like, no, I mean, look, I know he did that every game. I do remember the one time though when he tried that little jab step on Harold Perkins and he tripped him up. That was beast. Well,
they break it down as far as amount of times guys affected your drop back or your rollout. Like, that means if they get a hand on you, they consider that in that stat. So it's not like a true broken tackle like a guy had you wrapped up, but still, I mean, 17 different times you're able to continue on with the play. I think there was 6 maybe in that one touchdown throw there at the end of the game. So anyways, he is somebody like the size. I'm really not worried about it. And I was having the conversation with Jim Miller, NFL Radio, last night when I got in. He's like, I can't get over the size. I'm like, well, get over it. It's going to be okay. Because, I mean, we have seen guys do it, and they protect the quarterback now. I mean, you can't touch the quarterback. You can barely sack him. He's going to be okay. His vision has not been a problem. He's not Doug Flutie out there jumping before he throws the ball. Bryce Young is the best quarterback in this draft. If you need a quarterback, selecting number 1 overall, and don't overthink it.
There you go. Jake Hester live from the NFL Draft in Kansas City. Be checking in tomorrow as well. He'll be with Hanny around noon today. Jake, thank you so much, man. Enjoy Kansas City.
Be with Handy today, be with Moscona today, and back on OTB tomorrow. I'll be all over the place.
Nice. All right, man. And on Sirius XM 84 as always. Thank you, Jake. You have a great day. Hour 2 of OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bone.
Bayou Ford has $2,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% APR for 84 months on new 22 Ford Expeditions. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, April 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 84. Coming up on OTB, we try to hook up with LSU softball coach Beth Torina, and LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson joins the show at 8:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel, and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. So, been a weird day here as we drove in this morning and about 5, right before 6 a.m., driving in, and it's like very dark out. All the streetlights on. What's going on? Seemed like all of Government Street lost power. It had this kind of cool, almost post-apocalyptic sort of feel to it, right? So we're driving in. So, whatever. The point of all this is that we're going to call Coach Torina right now like we do for every single Thursday, and we just realized the phone lines are actually down. Now, credit to our guy Bo Wegman and the entire studio setup here. Even when all the power was out on government, the power was still here in studio, good to go. Everything's been working, so a lot of credit where credit is due. But what it does mean is we're going to work to get in touch with Coach Torina here in a minute. And I do have confirmation, though, Coach Jay Johnson going to be good for Zoom at 8:30. So we will still be talking to Coach Johnson, certainly, at 8:30. Let me just send this text off. You got a fun hour 2 planned. So look, every Thursday we do this. We talk to Coach Torina, Coach Johnson, so we preview the upcoming weekends. LSU softball off of a big-time weekend. Taylor Pleasance returns. They sweep Mississippi State. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to bring you all into the sausage-making process here. Taylor, she's saying she didn't get an email yet. B. Torina, Torina. Okay, sending again. Now, like I said, boys, sausage making, okay? Sometimes you just got to do what we got to do. A big week for softball, big week for baseball. We'll get into all of it this hour. Something I wanted to get to last hour, but then we ended up not quite getting there, is C.J. McCollum. C.J. McCollum yesterday underwent surgery to fix a torn ulnar collateral ligament in his thumb, a UCL, which I thought was in your elbow, but I'm not a doctor, right? The point is, though, I did not know this. When did this come out? I knew the hand injury. I don't think we knew the extent of it. We learned right after season the extent of the hand injury. Did you know he was also playing with a torn labrum?
Yeah, exit interviews, he pointed that out
after
they got eliminated.
Okay, I remember him pointing out the hand. For some reason, I missed the labrum. Now, I've had 2 labrum surgeries myself. Thankfully, he doesn't have to have labrum surgery. He can go through a strengthening and a tightening routine to get it right. But to try to play NBA basketball with those kind of injuries is so absurd to me that I just want to highlight it, because we have to highlight it, because even free of any context, C.J. McCollum deserves to be recognized for this, deserves to at least be acknowledged for putting it on for the team like this, but especially in the context of Brandon Ingram sitting out so long with a hurt toe, and that's maybe a little disrespectful. Toes are a bit sketchier than that sentence makes it seem like. But certainly Zion Williamson not doing his rehab correctly and saying he doesn't want to get out here until he feels like Zion again. You think C.J. McCollum felt like C.J. when he's out here playing with a torn ligament in his thumb that required immediate surgery after the season and a torn labrum? And yet, despite all this, what did C.J. McCollum do? He played in 75 of 82 games. He led the Pelicans in minutes. The old man who is supposed to be mentor as much as player, right? Like a player coach, just body breaking down, hobbling around, dragging himself John Wick style into the gym last night. The old man leads the team in minutes. That's a leader. That's partially why you paid C.J. McCollum, okay? To lead by example, to show these young guns what's up. And again, I'll go back to the quote that he gave after the season because I love it. Quote, throughout my career, I've always been a player to do whatever it takes to help the team. I could have taken the easy way out, got surgery, and sat and watched. I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of player. Even though it affected my performance, I just went and competed the best I can. I'm always trying to lead by example. I love the part of that, even though it affected my performance, right? Because that seems to be CJ McCollum, or that seems to be one of Zion's main fears in all of this, is that we're going to judge him for not playing to that MVP level, right? But it's okay. Sometimes you got to put it off for the team. You know who's been playing hurt? Some of these LSU softball team members, okay? Like Taylor Pleasance, where you finally saw her get back to full strength last weekend. Huge sweep over the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Let's talk to now the longest tenured softball coach in school history. Nobody has coached more games than Coach Beth Torina, and she recently just passed over 700 games over the weekend. Coach, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us today. Hell of a week, hell of a weekend. How are we feeling?
We're feeling good. I'm just, singing along. I hate Alabama.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
So, hey, on the thing about the 700 games, though, my whole staff has been with me the whole time.
What?
Too.
I did not know that. I missed that. That's kind of like truly incredible, and that like it makes me incredulous. Like I don't see how that can be true. I've never heard of anything like that in my life.
We have the same strength coach, academic counselor. We have athletic trainer who's missed is just off 1 year of it. I mean, we've had our people with us the whole way, so. That's been an incredible journey, too, is having these people with us the whole time, too.
So it happened in game one, right? It happened in the 7-1 win on Friday night, in which it was your 699th game. Now, it's great that by the time the weekend's done, you get to that nice 700 Barry. That's awesome. But did you have a moment of reflection or anything like that after the game on Friday when you set that record?
Well, first I looked up and I was.
I'm sorry, Coach. You could hear me still. I was muting, talking to the producers. It's a big sausage-making show today. Okay, go ahead. Did you have a moment of reflection after the game on Friday?
I looked up and I had no idea what the 699 number was. I was thinking, what are we honoring? What is happening? Like, we had won the 600 a month ago. I'm like, we definitely didn't play 99 games. Like, what is this number? And then Coach Gerard and Carol Smith coming out, that was a cool moment too, of seeing the former coaches come out, and they're the ones that really laid the groundwork, and we're truly standing on the foundation that Coach Gerard built. So that was a really cool moment too. But it did take me a second to think, like, what is 699? This is an odd number.
I had such a pleasure getting to meet Coach Gerard just a few weeks ago on the golf course, and turns out she's a huge Mandalorian fan. All we did was chop it up about Star Wars the entire time. It was one of the favorite conversations I've ever had. But now you coach more games LSU softball history than anybody else. 487 and 214 in those 701 games, Coach. But let's get to the weekend series. I know last time we talked to you, y'all were going through it a little bit. And we kind of pointed out, your best player's not been fully healthy. And lo and behold, Taylor Pleasance gets fully healthy. And look what happens. A sweep. She bats over 600 for the weekend. She's named SEC Player of the Week. What did it mean to this team to get Pleasance back at full strength?
Well, when they saw her swinging in the cage this week, there was like just cheering. Everyone was like cheering when they saw her swinging. And then she goes in the game, smokes like the first pitch she sees. And everyone's like, how is this fair? We've all been hitting for 6 weeks and we don't do that. They're like, how does she just walk up there and hit doubles on doubles on doubles? Everyone was pretty jealous of her incredible ability, but it was a boost that we needed to an incredible weekend.
And so, look, and it really was an offensive explosion that carried throughout the weekend, right? 7-1 on Friday. Oh, my God, I didn't write down the other scores. I'm an idiot. But basically, I mean, look, 10 just blowing out Mississippi State the second and third games. What's kind of the knock-on effect? Because obviously, like I said, she hit 600 over the weekend. She scored 4 runs. She knocked in 4. She had these doubles. So, like, she had a great weekend. But what's the knock-on effect of getting her back and how it kind of raises everybody else's offensive play?
I think it just puts everybody in the right spot in the lineup too. You know, I mean, she has hit 3 for us, and it's like a ridiculous number of games in a row. It's on the game notes, you know. She had hit in the 3-hole, and now we had different people trying to fill in there that maybe aren't quite as suited, although Allie Newland did an incredible job in the 3-hole for us, you know. But just pushes some people around, like whether it be the 7 or the 9 or whatever spot it is in the lineup, it just makes our lineup, you know, fit better together having her. Not to mention she's one of the best players in the country. I don't know how any team rebounds from losing a player of that caliber out of their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, even with the injury problems this year, still 7th in the SEC in ribbies. So, yeah, like, it always gets it done. Hey, real quick, before we go back to the games, how did the Go Teal, how was the Go Teal walk over the weekend?
It was awesome. It was awesome. Thanks for supporting that cause, too. You guys are the best. We appreciate you so much. But it was awesome. Really could not have asked for much more. So many strong women, families, people out at the park. Just loved uplifting them and celebrating them. It was great. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and the Go Teal Walk, of course, raising awareness for the fight against ovarian cancer. You can always go to geauxteal.com if you want to check it out. One name that we've talked about a ton this year is the freshman Sydney Berzon, and she was back on Friday night, complete game, 8 Ks, 1 run, now has 106 strikeouts on the year. First freshman pitcher since 2015 in y'all's program to have over 100 Ks. It seems like the sky is the limit for Sydney.
It really does. It really does. I keep describing her as like a video game. You just dial up whatever speed, pitch, location you want, you type it in, and she executes it. It's been fun to coach her. It's going to be so fun to coach her as she moves forward, but she's been awesome for us. Awesome. And then Allie Kilponen came out and dealing on Sunday too. You know, just to have the two of them has been incredible. Ailey Johnson threw great for us over the weekend, another freshman pitcher that you are going to see a lot more of. But Allie Kilponen running it up to 70 miles an hour on Sunday. It was great to see her do that.
Yeah, complete game shutout for Kilponen to secure the sweep, something that I feel like we've probably said a lot over the years. I just love, too, from kind of a mirror type of standpoint, that you have the true freshman doing it on Friday, and then the salty vet coming in and shutting the door on Sunday. Before we look forward to the weekend, what did it mean to get the sweep, right? Not to win the series, but to go ahead and 3-0 this thing.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I think every time you have an opportunity to get a win in the SEC, you take it, because they are hard to come by in SEC softball. So if you have a chance to get a win, you take it. You know, sweeping is an incredible accomplishment, I think, when you're playing any SEC team, because everyone's talented. Everybody's got great players. There's a ton of parity. So it's a great weekend. Couldn't have asked for much more.
Now there's no rest for the weary, as you're going to roll right along, rolling into T-Town this weekend. Traditionally one of the best programs in the entire country. I mean, Alabama, but both you and Alabama ranked very closely to one another right now. What does Alabama do well? What kind of unique challenges do they present?
Well, they put Montana Fouts on the mound. That's what they do well. She is really special. 3-time All-American. She's it. You got to figure out how to crack the code there. And once you do that, you know, which is very hard to do. If you can do that, you have a chance against them. And we have beat her before. We have swung well against her. I think our team feels confident. They're excited about the weekend. They're in a good spot. So, you know, we'll give it our best shot.
Hell yes. Screw Alabama. Always feels good to beat them. Here's to hoping that we'll get it done on both diamonds over this weekend. Coach Torina, thank you so much for joining us. Again, massive congratulations on that accomplishment, becoming the, you know, coach more games than anybody else in LSU softball history. It's truly, it's just got to feel a bit crazy looking back on it. So massive congratulations and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, Coach Beth Torina getting ready to go to T-Town. T-Town getting ready to come to Baton Rouge, as the Alabama men's team will be in the box this weekend. Let's do a little statistical overpass on Bama next, and then we'll talk to Coach Jay Johnson coming up here at 8:30.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to iticollege.edu. iticollege.edu. Look, guys, I legitimately love ITI Technical College. I love all the faculty that I've gotten to meet and work with there. I love everybody in the administrative departments. Everybody's so kind. There's just, everybody cares about the students. Like, I mean this completely genuinely. The classroom vibes, when I've talked to students there, everybody seems just so locked in, right? And it's because when you go to ITI Technical College, you know that you are giving yourself the chance to succeed in this life. You are changing your life for the better. And they've been doing it for 50 years. And please remember always, this is not some national for-profit trade school BS. This is a local family-owned trade school that in just 2 years can help you get that AOS degree, change your life for the better. Celebrating 50 years here in 2023, ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down my last dime. Call in Baton Rouge. Ah, the rain, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile.
Join me, Jimmy on Charles Hedger, Max. We're at Don Juan Cigar Bar. It's draft night. The big ESPN 104.5 draft party at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Show me the money. Game time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB, hour number 2. Rolling right along. Shout out Beth Torina. We're going to talk to Jay Johnson here in a few minutes, in about 10 minutes, about this LSU baseball team, as they're going to be welcoming the Crimson Tide. This Tide team they're weird, man. they're a bit hard to figure out in that it feels like their record should maybe be a bit better than it's not their overall record, but their SEC record. I mean, if you just look statistically, they've been pretty damn good, and they played a tough schedule, and we laid it out yesterday, right? I think they lost their first 4 series, but they never got swept. They managed to 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Then they finally get a series win. Then they sweep Mizzou. So they come in here at an even 9-9. But like if you look at the overall season statistics, not conference games only, they rank very well. They're second in the SEC in team batting average at 308. They're third in the SEC in team ERA, 3.77. Now LSU in those same categories is first, hitting 320 as a team, but then they're down at a 4.26 ERA behind them. They have the most hits Alabama does in the entire conference if you look at the season as a whole. But it's like, okay, but what about if you look at conference-only stats? Well, it's still pretty good for Alabama as I want to say, in terms of team ERA, second in the conference. Now their batting average takes a pretty significant hit when you get a conference, only dropping from over 300 all the way down to 263. But this is an Alabama team that I guess it's just better than the Alabama teams of the past, right? And I look forward to hearing Coach Johnson. And you can't take them lightly. If you go half-stepping, you can get burned this weekend. And remember, what's on the line is losing 2 games in a row for the first time this season following the midweek loss to Nichols. You got to be one of the only teams in the country right now that has not lost 2 games in a row. And of course, you probably won't because you got Paul Skeens. But this Alabama team is pretty frisky. So we'll get to Jay Johnson and talk with him about that. The NBA playoffs are rolling right along. Last night, the Heat, man, officially closing it out over Milwaukee. Very impressive stuff. I mean, Jimmy Butler and his insane playoff ability, which he just turns it on for this old man who plays a style that should be outdated and it's so physical. I don't know how his body's still holding up over the years, and yet it remains so deadly effective. His leadership, Heat culture, all the other things. I mean, Eric Spoelstra, great coach. We'll get to that. But remember, throughout the entirety of the NBA playoffs, you want to be gambling with DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, where they got deals for new customers and returning customers. If you're a new customer, download the app. When you sign up, use the promo code Baton Rouge, and you can get the deal where you do a $5 pregame moneyline bet. If your bet hits, you get $150 in bonus bets with which to play. But that's for new customers. What about for everyone? Because a lot of you all have already downloaded DraftKings. Well, every single day during the NBA playoffs, you can get a no-sweat same-game parlay, okay? What that means is that you place a parlay, same-game parlay. If it does not hit, well, you get up to $10 back as a bonus bet. So take your shots, man. Take your shots and see what happens. Boys, what do we got? Do y'all have anything on a little pregame moneyline bet for the fellas coming up tonight? Who would you put it on?
Celtics at Hawks. The Celtics are a 7-point favorite. I think that's kind of a lot. I think Trae Young alone can make the Hawks at least cover. But
Well, it's not spread, though. This is moneyline. Pregame moneyline bet.
Moneyline, I go Celtics for sure. I can see him bounce back. Trae Young carried them to victory the last game. Maybe he can carry them. Yeah, he can carry them to make this a tight game. But I think Boston closes it out tonight.
What about you, Taylor? You got any you got any plays tonight that you like? I know you're a big NBA guy.
No, I mean, I agree. You know, Celtics-Hawks only game tonight. I think Celtics are going to win.
Okay, there you go. So if you want to play tonight, sign up with the promo code Baton Rouge. And remember, $5 pregame money bet, get $150 of free bets. 21 or older must be physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt to required 1 bonus bet issued based on amount of initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. I'm trying to think. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go to break a little early right now, and then we can get back. We'll get Coach Johnson on, and we can start to chop it up about the visit to T-Town this week and the sweep from last week, the midweek, all of it and more next, coming up here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. If you need a new vehicle or like a new vehicle for you, but maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle where you're going to get great prices and you're still going to get that excellent warranty coverage, of which I am a massive fan. The answer to all of this lies there off of Airline Highway at All Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. The service department of Tommy Waguespack is second to none, man. The convenience of it, the fact that they'll pick you up, drop you off. Miss Lisa Sedgwick can easily hook you up with rentals if it's a longer term sort of issue. I love the text updates that you get throughout the day, right? So they're not going to go ahead and do anything without your knowledge. You approve. You're kept abreast of everything that's going on. You know exactly when it's going to be ready to go. If like once you experience the first time, you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy now that I joined All-Star Toyota's family. And I am too. That's why I joined it twice, because it's so nice. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Not only did she tell us, but this young lady, stand up. And this young lady
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Trey'Dez Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go? For live coverage of the 2023 NFL Draft, starting with round 1 Thursday at 8 p.m. and continuing Friday at 6 p.m. and Saturday at noon. Our coverage is presented locally by Rouse's, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It is Thursday, which means We are lucky enough to get to talk to the head man over there of your LSU baseball team, Coach Jay Johnson, fresh off the first sweep in Oxford since 1996, I believe. Yes, it's 1996. An LSU team that, has been spectacular this season thus far. Coach Johnson, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on again.
Okay, look, so we got a lot that I want to get to with you today. Obviously, we'll touch on the midweek. We'll look forward to Alabama coming to town as well. But before we do that, let's look back to last weekend in which you go on the road. It kind of, in a way, and I know you would not agree because these are defending national champs. Everybody in the SEC is very good. But relative maybe to the other portion of the schedule, this was viewed at a time where, okay, this is a time where the opportunity to really start stacking wins is potentially there, and you come out and, well, you do just that, and you do it in insane fashion. I mean, that Sunday game, I was hooping and hollering, going crazy on my back porch. Just what a job by this team. What can you say about the resilience and fight that you saw out of this team to close it out there in Oxford?
Yeah, it was great. I think Friday and Saturday we played very clean baseball.
Yes.
Really executed our plan from the plate, from the mound, played good defense, and just won 2 ball games. And then Sunday we didn't necessarily play our best. We left some runners on base, that type of thing. Christian Little did a great job from the mound to not only keep us in it, he left the game with the lead. Used a few relievers that, kind of held it together enough to get our offense in position to strike. And then we got a good at-bat by Jarrett Jones with a walk. Braden Gilbert got hit by a pitch and then set the stage and pinch hit Hayden Travinsky, obviously 3-run home run. And Gavin Guidry came out and closed it out in the 9th. So great team win in the SEC. If you're going to have a successful season, you have to have a few of those. And that was a good one to put on our belt. And really proud of the team for their accomplishment last weekend.
Yeah, Coach, it's interesting because I think there's a couple of really, like a couple of hallmarks of very good teams were on display. Like you said, can you find a way to win the game when you don't play your best? And that's exactly what the team did. And then if you zoom in on Hayden Travinsky, do you have buy-in from guys where they are putting the team above self? Because, it would be real easy for Hayden Travinsky to be checked out at this point. He's a guy who's played a lot of baseball in the past. He's an upperclassman. He's probably not playing as much as he would like. And yet, when his number was called, he came up with the magic that his team needed for him. How have you accomplished this very hard goal of getting the team to put others in front of their own kind of personal motivations?
Yeah, I think there's a few elements to that, and I really appreciate that question. I think you got to have strong player or peer leadership, and we certainly have that. Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens, those guys are such phenomenal players, but they're better people, and nobody on the team wants to let those guys down. And they as a group have really done a good job of fostering that. In Hayden's case specifically, I think the answer to the question is just maturity. It's very uncommon for college age males to think of anybody but themselves in anything that they're doing, especially at this, kind of society that we live in right now. But we've had some conversations all the way back from the fall about talking about that. And not only has he accepted maybe what his role was here at the beginning, but embraced it. And then not only that, has continued to get better and improve as we've been working. I tell people every time, I watch every swing in batting practice, and you could kind of see some development things happening. We got him some pinch hits over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and felt like it was a good time to start him on Saturday. He caught great with Ty Floyd and then set himself up for that big moment on Sunday. So really proud of him, and I think it's a great example of a lot of positive things that have been happening within our program this year.
Yeah, and it seems like every weekend I'm loving it's been adverse at times, right? Guys have gone down, obviously Chase Shores makes it public about the UCL and everything. And then I kind of had a little pang in my heart when I reread the stats. And I remember that against Tennessee, A&M, and Arkansas, he went for 18 and a third with a sub-2 ERA. You're like, oh my God, you lose a guy. But then I remember, okay, but look what it's led to, right? I mean, look at Garrett Griffin on Friday. I mean, these young guys continue to grow and step up, and like who's ever up, not making excuses, but really following through on that kind of next man up mentality. What is the value of what you got out of Friday, only having to use 2 arms there?
Yeah, that was huge. And, with Griffin Herring.
What did I say? Garrett Griffin? That's an old Saints quarterback. Too much sports talk, Coach. I've been taken for a while here. Griffin Herring, excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Him and Gavin Guidry have really picked us up out of the bullpen. They're both freshmen. We put them in high leverage situations, just like we were doing with Chase. I mean, Chase couldn't have pitched in 3 higher leverage situations the first 3 weekends of SEC play. And those guys have really just stood out. I mean, the game doesn't get too big for them. The situation doesn't become bigger than their plan, and they've just gone out there and executed. I think Griffin is definitely a starting pitcher in the future here. But for now, I mean, to get that type of poise, that type of pitch execution behind somebody like Paul Skeens, that allows you to feel really good at where you're at on a Friday, and really set us up well for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, and then you got Ty Floyd come out with the longest performance of his career. Love seeing Ackenhausen back in the mix as well. Coleman, it's like, okay, it's starting to come together a bit more here. What is there anything I want to highlight Little though, because that's been kind of the biggest question mark, is who can give you the day 3 performances that you're looking for, because you'll be able to outswing a lot of people. You just got to do enough on Sunday. Is there anything you can point to, or anything specific in the preparation, or anything that maybe clicked with Christian Little last Sunday?
He's actually been pretty good, in my opinion, for the totality of the season. Okay. I think, and here's my take on it, and this is maybe the only baseball program in the country that this happens, is we get so much attention, which is great. It makes it great to be a player at LSU. But sometimes when these guys get brought in, they get hyped up so much, it's almost impossible to live up to that expectation. But if you look at that stat line for the season, it's a pretty good stat line. And especially we've won most of the time when he's pitched. That Arkansas game got away from us a little bit. But I think Christian's done a great job. But he's continued to improve, just as like we were talking about with Hayden, and been very intentional about it. I think there's some things to remember about him sometimes. Even though he's a junior, he's still only 19 years old. And Sunday's performance is his longest outing in college baseball for 3 years. And so development happens at different times for different guys. That's what makes it remarkable, what you were just talking about with like Gavin Guidry and Griffin Herring being able to come in and fill the role that they do. Being a freshman in the SEC baseball right now is not a comfortable or fun place.
No.
So it's just the quality of our league. It's hard to explain to just the regular fan. There's not a conference in a sport that is remotely like it relative to the difficulty right now. And it's great to see these young players have some success, and then have guys that are older start to come through when we really, really need them. And we've had both of those things recently.
Yeah, it's like you were talking about with Dylan Cruz in your post-sweep press conference as well. It's like, I wish I had, I'm saying this, I wish I had the correct, vocabulary skill to adequately describe what we're getting to witness, because it truly is extra normal. It may never come again, like you said. And so your weekly reminder, everyone, to enjoy the show and enjoy the journey. Coach, I want to ask you about another answer that you had in that same press conference, where you were talking about the midweek game, and you mentioned that y'all have been doing kind of because, you want to approach every game like they matter the same, right? And that y'all had almost a tournament approach to the midweek games, and Wednesdays in your mind was elimination game. Or Tuesdays, excuse me. What exactly is that setup that you're alluding to there?
Yeah, so it's just something I've done with teams that, and even last year was fairly successful. Late in the year, you make it like a regional. You play game 1, and then if you win, you advance to the winner's bracket. And we started it at Tulane, but we got eliminated. So it was
what happens now?
It was a rough night at the Johnson house. It's 4 a.m. and I'm drinking a glass of orange juice, staring at the moon. I know there's not a moon usually in Louisiana, so we'll call it the ceiling. But it's a new experience for me too with this SEC thing. Like, I mean, our players absolutely emptied the tank, mentally and emotionally, and kind of looking in the dugout even on Sunday, it's like, man, are we going to be able to do this? You know what I mean? Because of the grind of the season, and they did. And I don't think they weren't necessarily ready to play. We had an opponent play a great game, and we did a few things in the game that really made it difficult on us, on top of the opponent playing a great game, and we lost. And trust me, it's a sore subject with me because I take a lot of pride in those midweeks. I think we were like, I don't know, like 20-3 or something like that going into the last 2 weeks over the last 2 years. And we'll play better next Tuesday after this weekend.
Can I ask you, and you know me, I'm a baseball layman, right? I'm here to enjoy the show, but I want to pick your brain from just a kind of tactical standpoint here. When it comes to the base running on that final play, I mean, it was a spectacular defensive play by Nichols. Ended up getting number 1 on the SportsCenter top 10. What is the correct play as a base runner there, right? Because you're trying to win the game, and if that ball drops, Maryville probably gets home. What do you coach to be done there?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. With no outs, you're back and tagging because you're moving up third with 1 out. With 1 out, you're supposed to be off and read. And I think he thought the ball fell in. I mean, and I love Jack Merrifield. He's a great program player. He's a great kid. He's a local kid. He's a good baseball guy. We had to make the move because with, Gavin Dugas's shoulder thing, I mean, he gets hurt a lot. And so we couldn't have him slide at the plate when we're trying to win the game. And Jack's a good runner and a smart runner. So it's one of those, almost like head scratching, like you couldn't believe it after it happened. But he's a great kid, great teammate, hard worker. And we're going to move on from that one because, I just don't see that as a regular. It was an oddity, and you have to tip your hat to Parker Cadu for making that play right there.
It was a hell of a play. It seems like they had a lot of great defensive plays that night. But whatever. You know what? Like you said, you flush it, you move on. This weekend, Alabama comes to the box, and it's an interesting Alabama team, Coach. They had an incredible pre-conference portion, and even in conference, although they lost some series to begin with, right? They never got swept. They always fought. They always managed to get one. And if you look at them statistically, it almost feels like their record should be better than what it is. What's your kind of scouting report on the Crimson Tide this year?
Yeah. First off, they're 30-12. Yeah. And that's a really good record. I mean, as you're playing through the SEC. I think this is another one of those teams where it's their time. And what I mean by that is it's the exact same roster, almost identical roster to last year. And they're all 22 and 23 years old. They have 1 million college at-bats and innings under their belt. And, going into the season, they were a team that I looked at and said, hey, this is like a Omaha caliber team. So that's all we've played, in my opinion, through 6 weeks of the conference schedule. So I don't anticipate it being any different. We're going to have to play well to win the series or win a game in the series. I think our players are excited about it. Being back home after being on the road last weekend, getting our fans in there. And, they pitch well, really good rotation. Mm-hmm. They swing the bat well, and they're playing with a ton of confidence right now coming off. If you win 5 out of 6 over 2 weekends in the SEC, you're capable of playing in Omaha, and that's this team this weekend. Yeah,
yet another tournament team here on the docket. Coach, I don't know. Did you get to go to that LSU Alabama football game in the fall? Have you been indoctrinated into the Crimson Tide hate?
Yeah, I definitely have, and I think I may have told you this before. Like, if I have a man crush, it's Nick Saban. I put that one in the closet. Put that one in the closet when I came to LSU for sure. So nobody was happier than me when we got that 2-point conversion, and that was quite a scene. And that was a good baseball recruiting weekend for the Tigers. So we appreciate We appreciate the football guys coming through for us right there.
Hey, man, look, Nick was once an LSU guy as well, So all roads lead back to the box. Coach Jay Johnson, thank you so much, man. You have an excellent morning. Thank you for carving out some time for us, and can't wait to watch this weekend.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
There he is, the man, LSU baseball. You know what I'd find truly fascinating about guys like coaches? Like, I am someone who, and this is obviously why I would never make it as a coach, But I would sit there and I could kind of make peace with a midweek loss, right? You know, it is what it is. Our guys are tired. Like, we didn't play our A lineup. It's just, you know, let's move on. You can tell that really bugged him, like significantly messed with him and just stuck out in his mind, and that he had to work to get past it. But it's that same sort of obsessive, competitive drive that has led to the creation of the roster, to the team that you've seen thus far, that's been able to overcome so many injuries, still be number one in the country, still be number one in the SEC West, avoid the nightmare weekends that you saw out of Arkansas and other teams last weekend. So cannot wait again to watch the show over the next 3 days. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Riverlands Insurance. And really, by go to Riverlands Insurance, I mean call my guy Thomas. Email at 225-206-1517, 225-206-1517. Pick up the phone right now. Call Thomas. Let him save you money. Well, getting you the best coverage. And again, I didn't say cheapest policy, right? But money. He will save you money, but also get you the coverage that you need. It's any type of insurance, y'all. You're a contractor, business owner, you got a kid that's about to drive, you got a business where you need to insure multiple vehicles. They do it all over their Riverlands Insurance. One of the fastest growing insurance companies in the South, voted by Insurance Business Place magazine as the best place to work in 2022. The largest progressive dealer in the state, but they have access to everybody, not just progressive. I'm telling you, you will be thanking me if you call 225-206-1517. Take advantage today. Just test it, okay? Call up Thomas, 225-206-1517.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Value Ford has $2,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% APR for 84 months on new 22 Ford Expeditions. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench. Hanny Time. Hunt Palmer.
Sandigrove, join us for the Thursday edition of Handy Time. It's NFL Draft Day. We talk with Ken Trahan from Crescent City Sports, and Jacob Hester is in Kansas City at the draft. Handy Time, noon weekdays, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, have y'all heard of the Pinkertons?
It's ringing a bell, but I can't tell you what it is.
The old like private security detective force. I want to say they're in like all the they're in like anything from the Old West, right? They're always like protecting like the railways that are transporting gold or whatever. I think they're in Wild Wild West. Certainly,
Yeah. They always just refer. They're like, oh, the Pinkertons.
yes,
like
yes,
that.
like Pinkertons, right?
Yeah, any Western movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you play Red Dead? I mean, they were founded in 1850, right? So it makes sense. Did you play Red Dead 2 at all?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at a picture right here from Red Dead of the Pinkertons.
So if you Googled the Pinkertons, you might see they're back in the news.
There's the picture from Red Dead.
The Pinkertons are still a very successful global private security force. And maybe one of the wildest internet stories that I've ever seen. The Pinkertons were hired to raid a YouTuber's house who had gotten Magic the Gathering cards before they were released. What is going on in the world?
That's like a glitch in the simulation.
Yeah, like what are we talking about, dude?
Wait, like how big of a crime is that? Then?
Not that big.
No,
That's kind
I
of the
wouldn't
point.
think so,
No,
yeah.
so this guy's so Hasbro is the biggest toy company in the world, obviously, right? They own Wizards of the Coast, who owns Magic the Gathering. The largest card game in the world, I would imagine. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh's bigger or anything. I think Magic still is the undisputed king. And look, I get it. There's a lot of monetary value in Magic, right? Like there are entire investment strategies, all kinds of stuff in Magic the Gathering. But I guess there's a YouTuber. Now, he's claiming he doesn't know how he got them, or he didn't know that he had broken the, what do they call it, the ship date or whatever, like when the cards are supposed to go out there. There's probably a good chance that he used some connections. Like maybe it got sent to him innocently. There's a good chance that maybe he used some connections to get these, this new set of cards before the upcoming release date. But so I guess he gets the cards. He makes a couple of videos about them. Hasbro hires the Pinkertons to show up and raid this cat's house with guns. His like wife is crying, freaking out. They got guns, but like, what are we doing, Hasbro? And I think like Wizards of the Coast had since apologized, but I mean, guys, just pump the brakes. I don't understand it. Maybe a cease and desist letter. Like, what happened to those? Just threaten some litigation. Tell him that you're gonna like stop sending him stuff or something if he continues to make these videos. They straight up put people with guns in this man's. Send the police, right? Like send an actual law enforcement agency, not the Pinkertons, not a private security force. I don't have much to add on that story beyond I just found that to be truly shocking when I learned about it yesterday on a couple of notes. First off is that the Pinkertons are still around. But more importantly, that Hasbro, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, thought it was a good idea to hire them to go take back unreleased Magic cards from a YouTuber. That is some deep internet stuff right there. I had some pretty deep internet stuff where, you know what, Mario, you'll appreciate this. I was kind of reminded of the South Park episode where they get into streaming and like reaction videos, and you know they're like reacting to them getting on the bus, and they're reacting to them getting on the bus. Yesterday, I was watching a video of a guy named Asmongold who was reacting to Moist Critical. No, I was watching a video of Asmon reacting to this RuneScape player, Odablock, who was reacting to Moist Critical, reacting to the original Odablock RuneScape drama video. It had 4 different camera boxes for each level of reaction that was going on.
Reaction inception.
Yeah,
and then you're reacting to them.
And then,
so
well,
it's just
yes,
a
like the only thing that I could have done
never-ending
better
chain.
is if I would have made a reaction video myself on that very video. It was, I remember I screenshot it because I was like, where have I reached in my life? That what have I been doing with my life in my 34 years in this earth that I'm watching Asmon reacting to Oda, reacting to Moist, reacting to Oda. Just unbelievable. That's YouTube, baby. Don't send the Pinkertons on me, Hasbro. I'm sorry, dude. More OTB, hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus. Ow. Oh, I just like scratched the paper wrong and my teeth hurt. Patient Plus Urgent Care. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. Hey, business owners, check it out, man. If you need your occupational medicine needs, all your drug testing, everything else like that, even like Coast Guard exams, all that kind of stuff, go check out the Mid-City location of Patient Plus. And look, if you've ever had to take a drug test for your job, you know, a lot of times these OccuMed places leave a bit to be desired, right? Kind of dingy, not that late. You're kind of like, ew, this all feels a little bad. Not the case at Patient Plus, because whether it's any of the locations where you're going in just to get in and get better, one of the main separating factors are the facilities. Okay, the investment they put in, going the extra mile to make sure that you as the customer are taken care of, you're happy, you're comfortable, you are satisfied, and you are healthy. Okay, so for life's unexpected moments, there's only one answer: Patient Plus Urgent Care, PatientPlusUC.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, April 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 84. Coming up on OTBOT, we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Look at Stephen A. Clowning. Knicks fans. All hype. God, Tom Thibodeau, man, he is so freaking funny looking. Every time I see him, I like, it's just, at a certain point, you would think you'd become desensitized to it. And I would just accept it, but it's just impossible. He looks like Danny DeVito's Penguin.
I was about to say a real life version of the Penguin.
1,000%. 1,000%.
I've always said he kind of looks like Humpty Dumpty.
He's got, yeah, for sure. He's egg-like, no doubt about that. But I mean, DeVito's Penguin is pretty egg-like. Yeah, man.
Do we know how tall he is?
I bet you he's actually pretty tall, right?
I'm hoping he's short. That would be better for the egg
But
percent.
he's got to be like 6'2".
All right, I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, Google it. But then again, he's got that hunch. Oswald Cobblepot. So I don't know, man. Maybe he's like 6. Maybe he's over 6 feet, but when he hunches, he's shorter.
Google says he's 6'2".
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying.
Unfortunately, I was hoping he was going to be like 5'7".
I wonder though, is that 6'2" like erect straight back, or is that 6'2" when he's like this? Like, is he even taller?
Like his normal posture.
Yeah, his normal posture, which is that just crazy DeVito Oswald Cobblepot hunch. By the way, boys, did y'all watch that new Flash trailer that dropped?
Yeah.
And have y'all seen the reviews?
Mm-mm.
People are talking about this Flash movie, which has no right being good, because almost nothing DC has done has been good. I said almost, so relax, okay? I'm not really counting the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy in here. Okay, that's a bit different. I'm talking about the new stuff. Certainly the Snyder Cut was, I would say, good, not great. I'm trying to think anything else. Wonder Woman 1 was all right. Aquaman 1 was all right. Suicide Squad was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, the James Gunn stuff was great. Suicide Squad 2, spectacular. Peacemaker, the TV show on HBO, spectacular. But this Flash movie with Ezra Miller, who is just an incredibly problematic star right now, dude, people are saying it might be the best superhero movie ever made. Which, I'm at the point now where the only way you're going to get me theaters to see another superhero movie is if it reviews well. I'm not going anymore just to see them. It has to. Like, the reviews from Ant-Man in no way push me to want to go see them in theaters. I don't know. I'm just shocked. I just don't like. It's funny to me when some things that absolutely should not work apparently do. And this Flash movie starring Michael Keaton coming back as Batman and looks like in like a big starring role, actually, kind of like the Flash's mentor. And it's got Batfleck in there. My dumb nerd brain is so broken that when I saw Michael Shannon as General Zod show up in the trailer, I got goosebumps. I don't even like that Man of Steel movie that much. It's all right. It's like nothing special, but Michael Shannon's badass. And Michael Shannon's Zod is really good. I don't know. I'm kind of blown away that I'm actually getting excited to see this Flash movie that I was not, that I just didn't. I know I had no expectation for it. Wait, did y'all watch the trailer though? What'd y'all think?
I saw the trailer. It looked excellently made. And for those who have seen the trailer, know the plot. He tries to go back in time, save his parents. It ruins the future. And a quote actually just from the trailer has kind of stuck with me when he's like, "Our scars make us who we are." So
okay.
I'm curious.
Okay,
I'm curious.
Profundity there.
Yeah,
in the trailer for you.
We can all relate with that, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm looking forward to see how that kind of comes to fruition for sure.
It's the Rascal Flatts logic, right? This is the broken road that led me here to you. Taylor, have you seen the trailer yet?
I have not.
Okay, do yourself a favor. Check it out after the show.
I will. I'll check it out.
Right now, let's do a little big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal. No big deal. Big deal. No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
Okay, look, here. So Gulf South says, ooh, T-Bob, you're one of those guys who actually pays attention to movie reviews. So disappointing. I don't understand this logic at all. Are there times when I have disagreed with reviews? Absolutely. But on the whole, if a movie reviews well and, 100 people give it a 9 out of 10, like every movie that I've ever seen that has been 90% or better Rotten Tomatoes is a really good movie. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Now, maybe you don't enjoy the genre as much, right? But everyone's been really good. And granted, look, now there are also genre movies that I know I'm going to see and enjoy, probably even if people hate it, right? Like that happens as well. And so like, I know I'm going to see anything Star Wars, even if it reviews poorly. But if it's movies that I'm not uber passionate about, which is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and superhero movies in general, if it's movies that I'm not passionate about, yeah, the reviews are going to have to drive me there to the theater. I think it's crazy to act like movie reviews just don't matter. Like, go watch 50 and 40%, rotten movie reviews and tell me how much you enjoy go watch 10 of them. Tell me how many you like. You'll probably like about half, right? I think that's just... I think this idea of like, I understand, think for yourself, make your own decisions. But again, we all got limited time. I got to hire freaking like babysitters for multiple hours. I got to like, it's I love the theater. It's my favorite thing in the world. In fact, I got very sad the other day because I feel like the theaters are dying in front of my eyes and I don't know if there's ever going to be anything that can be done to bring them back. But it is a lot to get out there. And so, yeah. There has to be some positive momentum behind a movie, or it just have to be head over heels in love. Like that Dungeons & Dragons movie, I love D&D. There was no chance I was seeing it if it didn't review well. And it reviewed great, and it was freaking awesome, okay? All right, Mario, you got our big deal or no big deal today. What you got?
Okay, I got a couple. We haven't talked too much about what's going on in Colorado, I feel like, but as of last night, 23 Colorado players have entered the transfer portal, and now the Buffs only have 16 scholarship players, and Deion Sanders.
Well, okay, sorry, go. Well, okay, I'll help you out with the numbers here because I've talked about this a lot on Snap. So since Deion took over 50 players have transferred out. It is only about 16 or 20 scholarship players remain from last season. Now they brought in additional 30, so they have I think around 50 something scholarships. But now continue with the setup.
Exactly. But either way, barely anybody returning.
Yes.
And Deion Sanders, I feel like, is kind of taking advantage of the new era of college football. You can kind of purge a team like this and bring in the people that specifically you want to bring. And in his defense, Colorado is not a good program. Like, they probably have to, shake up a lot.
1-11.
Yeah, shake up a lot of things. And he definitely looks like kind of a jerk, withholding practice film and stuff like that. But honestly, I think Deion's doing what a lot of coaches want to do if they take over a situation like this. So I want to ask y'all.
It's a big deal, not because I'm going to offer a judgment on whether or not Deion's going to be good or bad, but it's a big deal because it's representative of what you can do now as a coach and how unprecedented it is. The withholding practice footage, though, I want to be clear about that. Nobody gets practice footage from the fall. That's your playbook. Like, granted, it's a different playbook with a different coaching staff, but you still don't that is not normal. Also, I don't want to be overly mean here, but if we pull up a picture of the kid making that complaint, that's why Colorado went 1-11. I feel bad, but look, here's the other part. Deion told us he was going to do this, right?
Yeah.
I'll just get to some of the quotes. This is from one of the players that he cut, right? Talking about Deion. I'm not sure he knew half of the names. I'm not sure he knew the names of half the kids he got rid of. He was worried about who he brought in. If you were on the 1-11 team, it seemed like he didn't really care about us at all. He already said he was going to get rid of 25 to 30 of us. That's exactly what he did when he got the job. He said, I'm bringing my luggage with me, and it's Louis. Okay, I want y'all to get ahead and get ready to jump in that portal. The more of you that jump in, the more room you make. Like, he has been telling you since day one. And interestingly, because now it seems like everybody, I don't know if it's like they can't handle the almost NFL-like ruthless nature of the cuts where he's literally calling kids into his office and being like, hey, time to hit the road. But it seems like people are really starting to crap on him in a lot of different ways. But, I don't understand why, because he's the one that's going to be judged by the success or failure. And so he wants to do everything that he can in order to set up a successful team. And if you're someone who doesn't like how Deion's handling things, well, guess what? You should be happy, because if he fails now, He will have no one to blame but himself. Like there will be no excuses. There will be no one to point to. Now, I did think it was interesting when he got on the Pat McAfee show and basically said, look, y'all don't know, okay? I got guys coming. You don't know who I got coming, but I got guys coming. And when you see who comes, you're going to be like, okay, it makes sense now. Like, I think I think this year Colorado is really going to struggle. Really tough schedule. I don't even know if they'll have 5 wins. Long term, I think Deion's going to be a resounding success at Colorado.
I think no matter what, he's going to get good players. So we'll find out soon whether or not he's going to be a good head coach.
The last point on this is that for the players, it's a great reminder that the power of the portal cuts both ways, right? It has allowed for player latitude. It has allowed you to better yourself, get into different situations if you want to try to find playing time. But at the same time, it does make you more expendable if you're in a situation where you go 1-11 and a coach wants to turn the program around. All right, so big deal, but maybe not for the reasons that some think.
All right, next one. So we talked with Flynn yesterday about a quote from Zach Wilson over the offseason saying that if the Jets picked up a veteran quarterback, he was going to make that person's life hell in practice. They asked Aaron Rodgers about it yesterday. He did his introductory press conference, now officially a New York Jet, and he said via the New York Daily News, quote, he's going to make my life hell in practice, and I'm going to make his life heaven off of the field. Part of my goal here is to help him get his confidence back. Zach Wilson's been awful so far, but he's going to be mentored by Aaron Rodgers on the field and apparently off the field. So big deal, no big deal.
No big deal because nothing that Zach Wilson does can be considered a big deal. But yeah, Zach Wilson, we've talked about it, dude. He signed his own death warrant with the interview afterward. You can't look like you've had that silver spoon your entire life, and then you lose like 3-0 or whatever it was. You're like, the loss isn't on me at all. And then you're talking about, I'm going to make who's ever alive and live in hell when you've been so bad. Like at a certain point, Zach Wilson has to humble himself, accept culpability, and do everything he can to soak up the knowledge of Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson has been granted a second lease on life here. Okay, he could learn valuable lessons that could end up making him in New York or making him elsewhere. So like Zach Wilson, suck it, and he probably will, right? This quote was a pre-Aaron Rodgers, like, suck it up and humble yourself and be the best backup that you can be.
Yeah, wonder if they do any ayahuasca together. Anything to add there, Taylor?
I do not think that Zach Wilson's doing ayahuasca.
No, T-Bob nailed it, though. But first, congratulations, because Hard Knocks is going to have a heck of a storyline whenever they ultimately choose the New York Jets. They're going to.
True.
But yeah, Zach Wilson, he's got to soak this up. If not, he's going to be playing in the XFL in 2 years, not the NFL. So,
big deal or no big deal, Aaron Rodgers says the reason why he never talked to the Packers over the summer is because they didn't FaceTime him. Said he has bad service at his house. They kept trying to call, and then he has no FaceTimes from the Packers on his
I'm going to say no big deal, but also, like, he knows where their facility is, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think a FaceTime was, like, the only way he could get in touch with them.
No, that's Aaron Rodgers.
They probably have, like, a team group text or, like, an email.
That's a little classic Aaron Rodgers cheekiness, right? The whole I'm immunized versus vaccinated thing back in the day that he got a bit of hot water for. All right, one more, Mario. What you got?
We talked about it briefly in the first hour, but CJ McCollum did undergo successful surgery yesterday, torn UCL, and doctors also determined he will not need surgery on the torn labrum in his right shoulder. He could recover just through rehab. I think that's a really good thing. We talked about it a little bit earlier. CJ played through a bunch of pain, still had a pretty good season. Terrible finish, but all in all, pretty good season. Career-high assists, career-high three-pointers. Still going to be a force for the Pelicans down the road. So I think it is a big deal that he's getting healthy and he won't need a surgery on that shoulder.
Yeah, and I think it's a big deal that this all came out publicly, right? To apply the sort of public pressure that needs to be applied to members of that team to toughen up. That simple. All right, when we get back, let's do a little Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson. Keep it locked here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyota.batonrouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com for all your, I almost said AC heating and electrical needs. We'll get to that. Even though your car will have AC and heating, and if anything breaks down and you bought from All-Star, well, then you bring it in to Tommy Swags back in the service department. If you have that great Toyota warranty, a lot of times you won't even open your wallet. You'll just be good to go. You roll in, they fix it, roll out text updates, all things we're always talking about. But look, the selection is excellent. You can actually order at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. If you want to customize an order from All-Star Express, you can. I kind of like talking about it, right? I would recommend going in an airline, or maybe going to the website first, kind of exploring maybe where you're thinking. Then go see them off an airline, Talk to the excellent sales staff, and whether you're looking to buy new, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe you need a rent for a vacation, or if your car's in the shop, you need a rent. It's just your one answer to all of this, okay? All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have.
So join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Get you ready for the NFL Draft. What are the Saints going to do? And Joe Healy of D1 Baseball joins us to preview the SEC weekend to come. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What is it? So if you were wondering about the music, we're doing NFL Films music, but I've never heard a lot of these you're playing today.
It's just the classic NFL Films music playlist.
There's this excellent NFL board game called NFL Red Zone. Me and my brother played. It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors type setup where you like choose plays and you flip them over and you roll some dice and whatever. It's super fun. But man, you put on those classic NFL films playlist while playing that. Choo, that feels so good, dude. So good. Avo says this is some Halo stuff. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a Halo.
This song is called
maybe.
This song is called Test of Honor.
Now that's an NFL film's title,
Yes.
certainly. And like Test of Honor, absolutely. It's like John Williams of Grit and Glory, but I do not recognize it. He says like Halo and Command and Conquer had a love child. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Emil. I think that's a pretty good breakdown. Look, we got Munchies coming up. We're trying to get in touch with Chef Johnson right now. The phone lines have been down all morning, so we've kind of been figuring it out as we go along. Thank you to everybody for being patient with us, as well as the excellent work from Mario and Taylor and our guests being willing to work with us also. Avo says, do kids still make paper football triangles and flick them through the uprights? I hope so. I would think so, right? There's something deeply, deeply satisfying about nailing a long paper football field goal, as well as just playing paper football in general. Man, I haven't played them forever. I remember back at like the Scholastic book fairs, they used to buy the leather. Yeah, I had like an actual leather triangle paper football, and it was A1, dude. You could freaking smoke some on there. I'm sorry, Murder Draft 19. I did not mean to ignore your comment. He says, I thought this was Halo for a second, and then I got excited. No, not quite. I don't know what the future of Halo holds. 343. Halo Infinite was supposed to be the next 10 years of Halo. That doesn't seem to have really worked out. Which, speaking of video games, boys, by the way, I did get Mr. Smite's hammer last night, not to brag. But more importantly, that Jedi Fallen Survivor game coming out. And it is getting incredible reviews right now. 8, 9, it's got like an 87 on Metacritic. The first Jedi Survivor game was fantastic with Cal Kestis and company. A little bit of like a From Software type of vibe in terms of this setup, like basically having bonfires and everything else and being hard combat. Very excited to dive back into that world sometime here soon. So did you send it to Chef Johnson?
Just waiting on him.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. No worries, guys. Everybody, we're cooling. We're cooling. It's draft day. Save your anger. Now, maybe not you. Well, yeah. You save your anger because you're a Cowboys fan, so you're guaranteed going to be pissed at whatever happens tonight. No matter what. So
I wouldn't say guaranteed. But
yeah, I would.
Okay.
You hate all of the Cowboys' best players.
It's not true.
Who do you like?
I like CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. I was a big Dalton Schultz fan. Didn't want to see him go. Trayvon Diggs makes good plays at times. Love Tony Pollard. He runs hard.
Trayvon Diggs. You only like Tony Pollard because of your hate of Ezekiel Elliott, though.
That is not true.
Yes,
I have one Cowboys jersey in my closet. It is an Ezekiel Elliott jersey.
Exactly. And you don't like him because he's overpaid and he sucks now.
I wanted him to keep Zeke, maybe restructure his deal a little bit, but I like Zeke.
Okay. Well, look, the bottom line is I know Saints fans, and they're preparing themselves to be very angry. And so everybody save your anger for night when Mickey Loomis trades up and drafts somebody that you've never heard of.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen. But I would be shocked that they don't take a defensive tackle at some point today.
They're going to.
Like just based off of numbers. Like Mickey yesterday was like, we don't have any musts. If you look at the depth chart, I would disagree. You know way more about football than me, but you literally need more players there.
Fawn says, speaking of old games, giving up Tarkov, going back to Raft and Minecraft. Hell yeah, dude. Tarkov's intense, bro. Not for me. You know who is for me? Chef Michael Johnson. He is the man. I love him so much. Every single week, we are lucky enough to have him come on here and do some munchies, answer all your culinary queries. Go ahead and get them in the chat right now. Chef Johnson, what's going on, man?
Morning, T-Bob. How are you?
I'm doing well. I had a delicious meal last night that my sister and my wife made for me. Very simple, just some chicken thighs. I don't know what they exactly put on it. A nice crispy thing. But one thing I had last night that I've never had before, and I've had him plain, or I've had him uncooked, but cooked radishes. They were freaking awesome, dude. They were really tasty. What are your favorite ways in which to use radishes?
My mom used to slice radishes fresh from the garden and put it on put it on a bread and butter sandwich, and I don't know that it's wonderful, but I kind of have an emotional tie to it. But really, what I love doing with radishes is what you call melting them. And so you put them in kind of a lower heat oven around 200 degrees with oil and rubbed on them and cook them slow and low. And what happens is the sugars build really, really slowly, and that sharp taste on the radish mellows out, and the sugar in the radish comes out, and they become really, really wonderful. To be honest with you, they're delicious.
So that must have been what happened last night. I don't know if that's exact. Maybe they didn't go like super low and slow, or maybe it wasn't as intentional, but they were so sweet and kind of melt in your mouth and tasty last night. I was a little blown away.
They were whole?
They were quartered.
Okay, so when you cut a radish, the minute oxygen hits it, there's a chemical reaction that happens, and that's part of why a radish gets really spicy, is it starts releasing these chemicals. And so when if you put a raw radish in your mouth, it's that's why you get that kind of spicy flavor off of it. And so if you cook them whole, or just take the ends of them off, or even if they're quarters, just not as smaller. They tend to come out a little more subtle.
They were it was great, man. It was just something that I've never had before. Now I can't wait for it. Hashtag Munchies. What's the best NFL draft night munchies
item?
Yeah, like just NFL draft night. You're cooking for a bunch of people. Maybe people are gonna be like kind of watching the TV, bebopping around. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm not. I'm a wings guy. I always say that, and I know people probably get tired of hearing that, but football and wings just go together. And I also like taking a piece of flank steak and flashing it on the grill to where it's just charred on the outside and basically still raw in the middle. And then slicing that real thin and maybe making some street tacos. And when I eat street tacos, I gotta have like pickles, lots of pickled vegetables and toppings and crema or whatever, and have options so you can build it 100 different ways.
Ooh, yeah, there's cilantro in there. Let's go, dude. Hashtag Munchies. What are some healthy snacks for working a 12-hour night shift?
Like fruit is really good for it because it's healthier for you. The sugars that are in them are, they're processed through your body easier, and that sugar kind of helps keep your energy up, right? Plus, it's fruit, and you're getting vitamins and stuff out of it. If you're eating fats, it's going to slow you down. Protein can slow you down. I think, starches, it depends on your body type too. Starches will burn as long as you're energetic. Like if you're up and moving around. Starches can also put you to sleep if you're not burning off the energy, right? So I think fruit is the easiest and safest way to go if you're not up and moving around, like to give you energy.
Brian wants to know hashtag Munchies, and I think I know you're going to answer, but I want to give you a platform to speak on this. Help settle a debate. Is it worth it to spend extra to buy organic items?
So that's kind of that's an interesting question. So, and I'm gonna speak from a nutrition perspective or nutrition center perspective. So if the organic foods are coming from 1,000 miles away and they're being shipped on a truck, where they're spending 2 weeks on a truck, by the time that fruit gets to you, nutritionally speaking, it's going to be probably lesser than something like a local market, right? So if you can find a market that is bringing in tomatoes or whatever from, within 50 miles away, and it's only been harvested within the past couple of days, that tomato is going to have a higher nutritional value.
Oh, wow.
Also, if you're just going to a normal supermarket, most normal supermarkets are harvesting tomatoes or fruits that are picked before they're ripe, and then they are ethylene gassed. And so because they're picked before they're ripe, they're not they don't have as much nutritional build as it would have if it would stay on the vine or the tree or the plant. So there's kind of a robbing of nutrient in that process.
So okay, so it's a much more layered than I thought. So like organic, I mean, ideally, or it sounds like local and organic would be king, but local over just a label that says organic. If it's like Washington, I don't know, or if it's coming from somewhere else in the country. Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have any great kind of local market recommendations for people?
I like to go to Southside, because it's available to everybody and it's got a retail side of things. I have a relationship there with them. When I lived in Seattle, we had a Sunday market that we could go to every day, and their organics were local. So it was the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I think if you can find a farmer's market, that's ideal. You're getting the farmers harvest it to go to market. And so if you can find it at the farmer's market, that's kind of the ideal situation for it being close by and having high nutritional quality.
I can't remember what street downtown, maybe it's Third Street, but there is an excellent market that pops up on Saturday mornings where I've got some really, really tasty foods before for sure. Here's a very wide-ranging question, and so if you don't feel pressure to have like some sort of great answer on it, Chef, but Bunny Morning wants to know, #Munchies, what is kind of your overall cooking philosophy? Have you ever thought about this? Do you have a kind of core tenet that you live by?
Yeah, and a lot of people will say it's farm to table. I used to use the expression slow food, and it was developed by the Italians based off of a McDonald's going into Vatican City. And, basically the philosophy is know the people you're buying your food from, have a relationship with the people you're buying food from, know where it's coming from so that you can have some kind of idea of what's happening to the food, but that you're putting into your body. If you're not paying attention and you're just buying it willy-nilly, there's beef products out there that use injectables in them to keep them red. There's like ethylene gassed fruits and vegetables that most human beings are eating those vegetables. It's not bad for you. It's just it provides less nutrient quality for you. So something along that lines.
Slow food. I love that.
Relationships
matter.
Yeah. Quality.
Yeah, quality. #Munchies. Yeah. What's your go-to dipping sauce for wings? So I'll make two questions. Are you a blue cheese or ranch guy, or maybe a different dipping sauce? First question, which one?
So if I'm going with the blue cheese or ranch, which I will, it's going to be like a traditional just hot wing sauce, right?
Yes.
But I love like Korean barbecue wings.
Yeah,
I I'd go stupid for some Korean barbecue.
Any of that, kind of sweet Asian heat a little bit. Oof.
Yeah, and I like like if you put a wing in front of me, I'm going to eat it, regardless of it's a 10,000 or a 1 million Scoville unit or whatever. I'm going to eat it, but I definitely have wings that I prefer one over the other. Jamaican jerk, I really love jerk wings. Yeah.
Okay, here's a personal question. Look, I consider myself a bit of an expert when it comes to jerk and meat, but like, what does it mean when I'm getting like a jerk chicken or like a Jamaican jerk? Like, what is that actually implying?
It's really referring to the spices and the foods that they're being put in there, right? Like,
okay.
It's going to have some sweetness from carrots, and that's pretty traditional in a jerk, and lots of Caribbean spices that I can't let
Hey, we almost had it, dude. No, okay, but so that is interesting. I always assumed there was something like pulled pork, but you're saying it's actually spice based mainly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
And then that hails from the Caribbean.
Yeah. Yes.
#Munchies. Tips for ripening an avocado that's still hard.
Actually, you can take an avocado and put it in a bag with a banana, because a banana is an ethylene gas producing fruit. You can put that in a paper bag, and that ethylene gas coming off of the banana will ripen the avocado.
How quickly does that process happen?
A day or two.
God, I'm always so shocked by the science behind all this stuff that's just like hanging out underneath the surface. #Munchies. Hit me with your... go ahead.
I was going to say, I was thinking about the Caribbean jerk just a second. So just a fun fact here. So Caribbean actually used to be when the settlers came over from Europe. They landed in the Caribbean, and at the time it was actually called the Caribs instead of the Caribs. It's known as the Caribs now, and the reason they were called the Caribs is because they landed on islands that were full of cannibals, and so we ended up with Caribbean from the word of cannibalism. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I never knew that. I'm gonna hit my old man with that, dude. He's gonna love that. That's like right up. That sort of fun fact right up his alley. #Munchies. We'll let you out of here, Chef. Hit us with your favorite quick sauce. If you're whipping up something at home, a sauce, just a versatile sauce, what is it?
Lemon caper butter. Like I keep capers in my refrigerator. I love capers. They're salty and vinegary and, like tart. Lemon, brown the butter because brown butter tastes better than anything. Brown your butter, put your capers in when it's nice and piping hot, and then finish it with some lemon juice. And it's versatile.
So what do I put that on?
Chicken, fish, beef. It just opens up. It opens up the the flavor profile of a dish.
Hell yes. I mean, chefs always teaching us incredible knowledge. Chef, thank you so much every single week. You're the man. Have a great day.
Appreciate you, y'all.
Chef Michael Johnson, #Munchies. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked right here, y'all.
OTB, OT.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Okay, that is, If you're eating people, do eventually you become immune to eating people? Like, I wonder, because like if you eat human beings, I'm pretty sure you get like the shakes, right? Like you get really, really sick eventually. I wonder if some of those cultures evolved to a point where they could eat humans. If I ate a human, I'd probably do some horrible things to my toilet. And if it broke, I would just call Central Plumbing. I wouldn't think twice about it, okay? They've been at it for 50 years. The Payne family knows what to do them. They've seen it all. They can fix it all. I don't care if you got an old house, new house, a red house, or a blue house. Remember, when anything goes wrong with your poo house, you go to Central Plumbing. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. When you overstink it, don't overthink it. It's all about Central Plumbing. CentralPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit Dreams Come True, the local organization that grants dreams to Louisiana kids suffering life-threatening illnesses and their families. We've interviewed these incredible kids, and their stories warm our hearts. And none of it would be possible without your help. So we're asking for your support in our effort to making more dreams come true. Each year, our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today, and thank you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. It's draft day. Sal Palantonio of ESPN will join us. Gavin Dugas of LSU Baseball in studio. It's AFR 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Welcome back, OTB. Hey, remember the Dreams Come True Radiothon's going on, brought to you by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic. If you don't know about Dreams Come True, it's one of my favorite organizations. They grant the dreams of children who are battling life-threatening illnesses and their families, right? However, the great part is it is Louisiana-based, so it's Louisiana kids only. So all the money that you give to Dreams Come True stays right here in the boot. And the Dreams Come True Radiothon today is presented by Service Chevrolet. Thank you to Service Chevrolet. You can donate at 1045ESPN.com. Every $5 donated gets an entry to the raffle. We have an Aaron Osinola autographed bat, Justin Jefferson autographed LSU helmet, a Justin and Jamar Chase framed wall print. You want to go to the CMA Music Festival in Nashville. You got a 3-day, 2-night stay. Concert tickets, see Thomas Rhett, Shinedown, Zach Bryan, Depeche Mode, Guns N' Roses, and Hardy. Again, y'all, about $3,500 to fund one of these dreams. Give what you can. You're not going to find a better cause. Dude, I had one of those dreams last night. You know those dreams where they're almost worth it in how terrifying they are because the relief you feel when you wake up is palpable? I woke up with literal adrenaline coursing through my body this morning. I had just an awful, realistic dream where I shot one of my neighbors in self-defense. But it was like a situation where he was like attacking me. We're like wrestling over the gun. I get the upper hand. I have the gun trained on him. And I think my adrenaline was popping off so much it was kind of over. He was like smoking a cigarette in my face. And even though I had the position of power, all of a sudden I accidentally pulled the trigger. And I shot him underneath his chest.
Yeah, accidentally.
And it took him like 45 seconds to die. And he's kind of sitting there like walking around, processing, smoking the cig. Then he collapses at my feet.
As he's dying.
I immediately I go to the cops. I tell him the situation. But it was all so visceral, dude. The neighbors, families yelling at me and everybody's screaming and crying. And in my head, I'm like, am I gonna get in trouble? Because technically I didn't have to shoot him at that point, but I did shoot him. It was one of those moments where I just knew that my life had drastically changed. And I swear, when I woke up this morning and I was still in my bed with my wife next to me, my cat curled up at my feet, I was on the verge of tears. I was so relieved. Just an all-time good feeling. Bad in the doing, bad in the experience. I was terrified during the dream, but when I found out it wasn't real, the relief I felt, it just flooded throughout my entire body. I don't know why I felt the need to get that off my chest, but I did. No, I did not wake up full chub from that dream, Daniel Basham. That's no. And before any of my neighbors come at me, okay, it was a nameless, faceless neighbor. It was not. It was an archetypical neighbor, right? It was not anybody specific.
So it wasn't the guy
no, when my boy Blake, it wasn't Marty, it wasn't any of the fellas. Okay, no. It was just I knew he lived in the neighborhood. I don't know why he was attacking me. It was in self-defense, but it was a little sketchy because I had the upper hand when I shot him. I wasn't actually threatened at the time that I shot him. But so bad. But hey, feel great now. Just do a local radio again on draft day. Okay, going to Don Juan tonight. No manslaughter, no homicide. I'm good to go. I've not killed anybody still.
Hell yeah. You ever had
knock on wood?
You ever had a really good dream and then wake up and be a little depressed that it's not real?
So this is something very interesting, right? And I think I saw Tommy Smokes talking about this, where it's does that mean that actually having the good dream is worse? because all your dreams have come true and you're like so happy and you're so there. And then you wake up and you have the opposite feeling where you come to the realization that, oh, wait, no, I'm still stuck in my bed with my cat at my feet. And I'm not like in whatever far off fantasy land I was just occupying.
Yeah, those like 10 seconds when you kind of come to and realize all the wonderful things that were happening are not real. Yeah, that's a pretty cruddy feeling.
Yeah. So maybe scary dreams are better. Hey, remember to go to AccuTemp in Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Danny Basham didn't know T-Bob could have the upper hand with those little mittens. By the way, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, 9-inch hands. Welcome to the club, bro. AC, heating, electrical needs. Get that service to the highest degree and take control of your comfort zone with AccuTemp. Remember, you get that AC install right now. You get a free premium clean air package on top. That's through the month of April. That's $1,800 of value for free. And guys, the heat is coming, okay? So get that AC unit checked up on and ask about the Star Club membership. Oh, y'all are hanging out. AccuTemp in Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com. Ask the Bench coming up next.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Trey'Dez Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back.
Join me, Jimmy, Charles Hedger, Max. We're at Don Juan Cigar Bar. It's draft night, the big ESPN 104.5 draft party at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Show me the money. Game time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hey, once again, y'all, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True Louisiana organization that helps grant the dreams of children battling life-threatening illnesses and their families. And remember, it is for Louisiana families. Okay, all the money stays right here in the state. And today's Dream Come True Radiothon is presented by Service Chevrolet. You can donate at 1045ESPN.com. Every $5 donated is an entry to the raffle. Huge thank you to Service Chevrolet. Right now, it's time for a little Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat. Hashtag Ask the Bench, favorite Mexican or Tex-Mex spot?
I love Superior Grill.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the vibes are great.
NOLA and Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I used to be a big Velvet Cactus guy.
Yeah,
Hated
Velvet
when they
Cactus is good,
closed
too.
down.
Yeah, it's street too, for sure. I mean, there's La Coretta we used to go to back in the day. It's look like it's. I would say the list of Mexican places that I'm like I will not go there is way lower than the list of places that I enjoy. Like everyone's pretty great. Hashtag Ask the Bench. You're the Saints GM for the draft tonight. What are you doing at 29? Staying, trade up, trading down? If I'm the Saints GM, I'm trading up because they always do. Best rainy day movie.
It's tough. There's a lot of good rainy day
so I think
movies.
here's the problem is that I don't know that I couch it as like, ooh, it's a rainy day, I want to watch this movie. It's just best to watch a movie you're hyped for on a rainy day. Right? So it's like it could be really any movie to me. I don't associate anything, but
all right, I'll go My Cousin Vinny. Maybe my favorite.
Really?
Maybe my favorite movie of all time. So I'll go My Cousin Vinny.
Okay. I haven't seen, that's another Superstation one for me where I
it's
watched
great.
it in like bits and starts growing up, but I don't know that I've sat down and done it.
I quote that movie every time I watch Utah play. The Utes.
The Utes. What is something you've been searching for on the internet for years to find with no luck? This is not exactly that, but I grew up obsessed with the Derby Owners Club horse racing game at like arcades, like Dave & Buster's, stuff like that. It was a game where you would breed a horse, you would train it, you would race it against other people. But the best part was it would print you out a card with your horse's information at the end. You could later, once it got out through X number of races, you could retire that horse, and then you could breed that horse. So you would have people with binders, stables of cards, basically. It was the absolute best. And I'm always trying to find one, and I can't. They're not anywhere around us anymore. I can't find them. Also, I looked at prices on them, they're like $30,000 or something.
Jeez.
Yeah. Sucks. Ask the Bench. Name a place where if you're driving by and a little hungry, you have to stop and eat. I would say this. I kind of go through a little bit of this struggle. I mean, I love, a great local famous place, Leah's Pies up there. Is that in Alec technically? Every time I go to Lake, I try to leave so I can get to Leah's.
When I'm
get a ham sandwich.
When I'm in your neck of the woods in Georgia, I try to go to Bojangles.
Bojangles pretty good.
I like
your little
Bojangles.
blueberry biscuit.
Yeah.
I struggle with Smalls every day. I got to drive by there and convince myself that I don't want to go.
But
smash
that's probably
sliders.
my one place around here that like I have to stop. Yeah, we got one in Denham now. That's not good for my physique, but it's happening one way or the other.
My and I used to be like that with Kolache Kitchen a bit as well. But my office is right across from Smalls, and every day I have to be like, once a week. That's it. Ask the Bench. Favorite non-American sports team?
Probably Real Madrid.
I don't know that I got one, honestly, dude. I'm not sure.
Does hockey count?
Yeah. Well, is it non-American? Is it like Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay, yeah, that counts for sure.
There you go,
It's
Toronto
it's
Maple
Canada.
Leafs.
Oh, yeah.
Thought you were going to say national team.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Which color lightsaber is the most powerful? I'm going to say purple. And it's because Mace Windu is actually strong enough to combine elements of the dark side without going full dark side, which has led to the combination of blue and red, and hence a purple lightsaber. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Could you do what Mincy did? With training, yes, but I do want to be clear. Very impressed with the time that Ben Mintz put up yesterday in that 6K to win $10,000 for a great cause and Hogs for the Cause. That was awesome. Would you rather be Darth Vader or Darth Maul? Darth Maul, for sure. Ask the Bench. Fried shrimp, fish, oysters, or crawfish. You only pick one for the rest of your life. Fried shrimp.
Yeah, fried shrimp for me.
I love all the others, but that's easy.
I got to go crawfish. I'm sorry. I can't give up crawfish.
Fried crawfish, though? We're talking about fried.
Oh, then no. I'm with y'all.
Yeah, fried shrimp's the best. Y'all have a great day. Hey, NFL Draft Party tonight, 7 p.m. Don Juan's. Be there, be square. Presented by Rouse. It's going to be a ton of fun. Don Juan.
OTB, OT.
And go to Rejuve Me Medical. RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Okay, Daniel, Coraline is a great rainy day movie. That's actually a pretty dang good answer. I would say the new Pinocchio by Guillermo del Toro is as well. Rejuve Me Medical, you want to feel younger? You want to do some upkeep on your body the same way we do in our homes, our cars, whatever. As they age, we try to keep them operating at peak efficiency. Why don't we do the same to our body? It's kind of weird, right? And I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, male or female. It happens to us all in different ways. And so you go in, you get your labs drawn, see where your body's deficient. They've actually, literally saved people's lives in doing this, catching some things early on. So there's a bit of a dual benefit here. But then they're going to customize a plan for you. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's not. And while you're there, whether it's at the Slidell, Metairie, Shreveport, or Baton Rouge location, ask about semaglutide, metabolization, optimization. Feel better, feel younger. Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get 3